state of war.
1.0, 2.0, the mission's the same.
With confidence, I assert,
there's a new school on the rise.
Step into the arena.
The game
We ain't come to play.
has changed.
I can hear the crowd. Hear them say my name.
NXT
Hear them loud.
2.0.
Yeah, I got something to prove, and I ain't got nothing to lose. Yeah, I got something to prove, and I ain't got nothing to lose.
But you want to talk about big stakes?
At War Games?
Hair versus hair.
Yeah, I got something to prove, and I ain't got nothing to lose.
Roderick Strong has created a toxic cruiserweight division.
And I don't care about any weight limit. At War Games, Roderick Strong is gonna shut you up for good.
Send them in. I can handle them all.
Bad blood between these 8 women.
They are standing there.
Toxic Attraction and Dakota Kai. We're gonna win. Prepare. We are ready for War Games.
You can't get you ready. We gonna see who's the one. Yeah, you can't get you ready. This was over before it begun.
These four guys put NXT on the map. At War Games,
You're looking at the future. Team 2.0 versus NXT Black and Gold.
Yeah, I got something to prove, and I ain't got nothing to lose.
I declare a state of war.
And now, the new WWE Credit One Visa presents NXT War Games.
since 2017, NXT Superstars have fought on a battleground consisting of 2 rings, 1 cage. That battlefield is known simply as War Games. Welcome in ringside, I'm Vic Joseph alongside Wade Barrett and WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix. Beth, we know it's your last night. You're going out with a bang.
Do not make me cry again, Vic. I will always love my NXT family with all my heart. But you're right, tonight, we are going out with a bang. It's time to go to war.
And not only that, Wade, 2 championship matches and hair versus hair.
Oh yes, veterans have got a chance to cement their places right here in NXT. The young blood though, they have a chance to step their careers up to an entirely new level tonight. Everything is on the line at War Games.
Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to our ring announcer, Alicia Taylor, to kick things off.
The following is the Women's War Games match. The rules of the match are as follows. 2 teams will be contained in separate cages with 1 member from each team starting the match. After 5 minutes, a member from the team with the advantage will be released to enter the match. After a 3-minute period, alternating members from each team will enter the match until all competitors are inside the cage. Once all competitors have entered, War Games officially begins. The only way to win the match is by pinfall or submission. And now, let the War Games begin! Introducing first, Io Shirai! Next, Cora Jade! Raquel Gonzalez!
What a way to kick off War Games tonight. Beth, how important is the War Games advantage going to be?
I think it's not just important, it's a total game changer. I mean, for Kaylee Ray's team, they're going to have an advantage for 3 minutes every time another teammate enters the fray. It's a constant head start. And what that means is that Team Toxic is going to be swimming upstream for the entirety of this matchup.
Yeah, I completely agree with Beth on that one. Listen, it's going to be hell either way, whichever side you're on, whether you have the advantage or not. And I will continue once we get this entrance underway.
And Kaylee Ray!
See, Beth, Wade was afraid of if he continued to talk what Kaylee Ray would do this upcoming Tuesday.
I mean, I can't blame him.
Let's be honest, she's carrying a baseball bat right now, and she's an intimidating individual. And somehow that's ended up in the ring. Don't let that go unnoticed. But as I was saying, you've got an uphill battle from the word go if you have the disadvantage in this matchup, which of course lies with Team Toxic at the moment. The advantage is only as good as you make it. If Team Toxic can minimize the damage they incur in the lopsided portions of this match, survive through until the numbers are even, then, and only then, do they have a chance.
How about Kaylee Ray, the baseball bat? Let's remember, everything inside War Games, it is all legal.
And their opponents, first, the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Jacy Jayne and Gigi Dolan, and the NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose, Toxic Attraction.
I mean, Wade, we know where your loyalty lies, but some think Team Toxic are the underdogs tonight in the Women's War Games.
Yeah, well, I understand that perspective, considering the fact they don't have the advantage here. The numbers game is going to be against them, but I am yet to be convinced that Team Toxic are the underdogs tonight. Quite simply, Team Toxic run the women's division here in NXT. They hold the Tag Team Championship, they hold the Women's Championship, as we are proudly displaying on our screens right now. And in my opinion, they are far from outsiders or indeed underdogs at this point. They have cohesion, and that can mean everything in a match like this.
Well, I mean, they're putting all the extreme bias aside with Toxic Attraction. They do not have the numerical advantage, again, with the War Games advantage.
And Dakota Kai!
I mean, the scales are heavily weighed on the side of Ray Jade Shrine Gonzalez, but on top of that, Team Toxic is dealing with a questionable emotion state of this woman, Dakota Kai. And we've seen Kai's erratic choices in the War Games Advantage ladder match put Team Toxic in the position that they're in the first place.
Oh, wait a minute, Dakota Kai realizing that Kaylee Ray is holding a baseball bat. She's bringing out an equalizer.
She's bringing about 15 equalizers. That was a bunch of kendo sticks right there. This one is going to start really, really ugly. And in my opinion, I sang the praises of Toxic Attraction. In my opinion, this woman right here, Dakota Kai, was the MVP of last year's War Games women's match. Dakota Kai, do not underestimate this woman at all. Unhinged, yes. All quality, 100%.
Well, I want to ask you both up front, what's the strategy for both these women and their teams early on? As you can see, both teams entering their cages. There is Team Toxic. There is Raquel, Cora, and Io. And you can hear the NXT Universe.
I can't imagine the claustrophobic feeling of that door shut.
And there you see the 5-minute countdown to the first superstar, which will come from Kaylee Ray's team. Then after that, every 3 minutes, an alternating superstar. But what's the strategy up front?
Yeah, it's quite simple. For the team with the advantage, the numbers game, that's obviously Kaylee Ray's team. It is all about dishing out as much damage as you can ahead of the match officially starting when it becomes 4-on-4. Once you get that numbers game advantage, you have to make it count. On the flip side of that, though, for Team Toxic, that's Dakota Kai's team, the ones with the disadvantage, it's all about survival. Can you make it through to the 4-on-4 part of the match, still standing? If you can do that, you have a chance.
I mean, that's a lot of rational logic, Wade, but I'm going to say Dakota Kai's just throwing strategy out the door. I mean, she's reckless, we've seen her unhinged, unpredictable, as is Kaylee Ray, not afraid to dip deep into the cockles of her offense.
And you're not kidding, Kaylee Ray right off the bat, taking it right to Dakota Kai. And, you know, Beth kind of hinted about it. Dakota Kai is somewhat of a wild card for her team, and she's starting things out here, but Kaylee Ray in control.
And Dakota Kai isn't on the same page with Toxic Attraction at all. We've seen the contention between those three. They don't really know what to make of Dakota Kai reactions. I mean, if you ask me,
Nice DDT out of the corner. Kaylee Ray starting to inflict damage early on.
Andy knows it's better to have Kai on your side than on the opposing team.
There it is, 3.5 minutes until the next superstar will enter the fray, and that is not good news for Dakota Kai.
Well, listen, Dakota Kai, as you mentioned, she might be seen as a wild card. She's clearly unhinged. She has been since the beginning.
Oh, no!
Breakup with Raquel Gonzalez, and that was taken to a whole new level since losing to Raquel at NXT TakeOver 36.
There, Kaylee Ray tasting the steel for the first time, but you bring that up, the downward spiral for Dakota Kai. I mean, it began last year at War Games as a second time Kai sending face first Kaylee Ray.
But last year at War Games was the beginning of the rise of Raquel Gonzalez in the women's division here in NXT. It was engineered, in my eyes, completely by this woman, Dakota Kai. As we take another look here at Dakota Kai pushing out some punishment to the scary queen of Scots, Kaylee Ray. Unfortunately for Dakota Kai, Dr. Frankenstein's monster turned on the creator, and Raquel pushed Kai to the side and wanted the spotlight for herself. That is what essentially has caused Dakota Kai to become so unhinged.
Oh, and again.
Come on, let's turn back the clock. And historically speaking, we've watched Dakota Kai turn on her own friends here at War Games before. I mean, there's something about War Games that brings out the absolute worst in Dakota Kai.
Yeah, but listen to this. It brings out the absolute worst in Dakota Kai, but as Wade pointed out, Dr. Frankenstein putting together quite the plan in the center of these two rings. And what is on the mind of Dakota Kai? Kai with under 2 minutes. Wade, you mentioned all about survival, because she knows when that 2 minutes are up, it'll be 2-on-1. And look, this is a dangerous type of match, but how dangerous is War Games?
I mean, everything about War Games is dangerous. The environment, I mean, the ability to use all of your weapons. It's steel, top to bottom. You can be very creative in a variety of ways to implement destruction.
And certainly we've already seen Kaylee Ray taste the steel face first, and now Dakota Kai. Bad intentions in her mind. As you can see, her Team Toxic, looking on. And oh, Kaylee Ray able to counter. Kaylee Ray right now, both these women will have to go the distance. One of those three women will be making their way into the War Games cage here in a matter of moments. But Dakota Kai in a baseball bat. Oh, Kaylee Ray! It's all about sacrifice inside the War Games match.
Just as Dakota Kai managing to build up a little head of steam there against Kaylee Ray. Kaylee Ray back with a vengeance. This is what Kaylee Ray does. She loves smashing things up, apparently. It doesn't matter if it's inanimate objects or indeed opponents, as we're witnessing right now.
As we mentioned this past Tuesday, Beth, Smash Room, War Games cage, this is right up Kaylee Ray's alley.
You remember Kaylee Ray calling her shot, essentially. Kaylee Ray put herself on this team. I mean, we saw her come out with the baseball bat, threaten Mandy Rose, winning the War Games Advantage ladder match, and now taking it to Dakota Kai.
Wade brought up the strategy early on, survival for Dakota Kai, but now she has to deal with Kaylee Ray and Cora Jade. And one word comes to mind when you think of Cora Jade. As she gets her skateboard, it's Moxie.
Yeah, I like this creative offense. We're about to see the youngest competitor in the history of War Games. I mean, at 20 years old, you still have your best years ahead of you. You can bounce back. And Jade, innovative right here.
Dakota Kai really going to have to try to crank up her offense, as now you see every 3 minutes an alternating member from each team will enter the fray. And Dakota Kai right now, this is going to be the longest 3 minutes of her life.
This is going to be a miserable experience. It's all about survival, though. Remember, last year, she was the first entrant in the War Games matchup, the most durable superstar in the women's division, in my opinion. She needs every ounce of that durability today, because she is really going to war tonight.
Right now,
I mean, Beth, you take a look at Cora Jade and Kaylee Ray working together. This is the importance you were talking about the advantage.
This is precisely where the numbers game come into play, giving Kaylee Ray a moment to breathe, a little reprieve here, and now you're going to see some double teaming. They've got to take advantage of this 3 minutes.
Oh! How about how dangerous the kendo stick is? How about a kick right to the spine? And slow, methodical, but Beth, to your point, Kaylee Ray and Cora Jade have to be loving every second, savoring what they're doing to Dakota Kai.
Not to mention the damage Dakota Kai took just 3 days ago in that ladder match. You can see Toxic Attraction here sweating some bullets, Wade.
Absolutely. Looking in a bit of a mess right now, but it has to be said, that's inevitable. That is the point of the advantage ladder match we saw last week that Kaylee Ray was victorious in. Therein lies the advantage. You know, you see Cora Jade certainly taken under the wing, perhaps, of Kaylee Ray and the rest of her team. Perhaps they see something in Cora Jade, want to help her advance her career the right way, and things are looking really good right now.
And of course, the War Games doesn't officially begin until all competitors have entered the matchup, but I mean, Beth, if you were Kaylee Ray and Cora Jade, you'd be licking your chops.
I mean, they're doing exactly what they should be. They're pacing themselves, they're recovering, and they're delivering consistent damage to Dakota Kai. I mean, this is excellent strategy.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Look at the gloating, look at the smiling. This is your opportunity to make this time count.
Really?
Don't start laughing at the other team in their cage, locked in there, unable to help out. Go out and do as much damage as you can to Dakota Kai, because if you fail to do that, you're going to come a cropper.
Oh!
Just like I was saying.
And Dakota Kai, almost an act of desperation. I mean, this was an absolute turnaround for Dakota Kai. Boom! To Wade's point, Dakota Kai was able to weather the storm, and now with just over 10 seconds, things are going to be even out here at 2 superstars apiece. But which superstar will enter the match? And looking through the NXT universe, Gigi Dolan is making her way into the ring. And this is a huge opportunity for one half of the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions.
Well, nobody else has got into this match empty-handed, so Gigi is not about to buck the trend here. Garbage can and apparently a bag.
Yeah, but the question is what's in the bag.
In the bag is my big concern.
It's all illegal inside War Games, but But Beth, this is an opportunity for Dolan and Jane to step up and step out.
Yeah, the quickest way to add credibility to your resume is to compete and succeed in the War Games match. Although you may walk out of this matchup a different person than walked in.
And you got to imagine that this is important for Team Toxic, for Gigi Dolan to string together some offense to allow Dakota Kai to regroup, refocus herself.
Well, here's the deal. Throughout this matchup, it really has been
nasty.
Team thus far of Kaylee Ray and Cora Jade that have had the advantage. You would not know it by looking at the mess in the ring right now. It's all about Team Toxic.
Gigi Dolan talking about evil intentions burning through her mind, as now Cora Jade is going to get caught and get dropped by Dolan. And all of a sudden, things quickly, in just a matter of moments, Beth, have turned around for Team Toxic.
Well, I would love to see some urgency here from Gigi and Dakota, because things are about to swing the other way very quickly. They've got to take this advantage and really grind down Kaylee Ray.
Under 2 minutes.
Cora Jade.
Until the next superstar will enter the fray. Will it be Io Shirai or will it be Raquel Gonzalez? Because those two women are looking on and seeing the complexion of this matchup drastically change at the hands of Gigi Dolan and Dakota Kai. And now in stereo, in sync, Dolan and Kai.
2 alpha females still locked in the cage, one of whom will be in this matchup next. You really can't go wrong, but it can't come soon enough for the team of Raquel Gonzalez et al. Because they are taking a pasting right now.
And guys, it was really interesting to see Dakota Kai and Gigi Dolan on the same page. We've yet to see that chemistry develop between Toxic Attraction and Kai.
Right now you're getting just first-hand look at how quickly the pendulum can swing in this women's War Games matchup as Cora Jade getting her 3rd win in this matchup. And we're going to say this word a lot tonight, survivor. It's all about surviving up front. And Cora Jade laying it all on the line. We're going to see a lot of innovative, unique offense, Beth.
Yeah, I can recall Io Shirai being creative with a trash can last year,
Wait for that KLR bomb.
Oh, no.
Ooh, you talk about a 2-for-1. And think about this, guys. As the clock continues to tick, it's going to be advantage for Cora Jade and Kaylee Ray in just a matter of moments.
The pendulum truly has swung in this one. All ladies seemingly down at the moment. Of course, a lot of damage has already been incurred by 4 women's bodies, and it's about to get a hell of a lot worse for Dakota Kai.
And Gigi Dolan. Here comes Io Shirai, Beth, the most decorated women's superstar in this match.
Io Shirai has main evented specials against Sasha Banks, a women's champion, tag champ. She's been an unforgettable moment maker in NXT, but most important of all, she's got a fearlessness that you gotta have to walk into a match with this kind of brutality.
Well, she's not walking in empty-handed.
Why would she? Nobody else has, huh? Take some goodies with you.
This is absolute brutality. This is what women's War Games is all about.
Last year, Io Shirai dived off the top of the War Game structure inside one of those steel bins.
Well, Beth, as you mentioned, when it comes to Io Shirai, there is no risk she will not take. Oh, no!
Well, that was a risk. Showing off with a garbage can with a furious Dakota Kai in the ring.
Whoa! Did you see the nasty landing for Shirai?
And many wear the wounds of War Games for the rest of their careers. When flesh hits that steel.
We talked about the 2nd and 3rd win, but how about Dakota Kai thriving at this juncture in the matchup for having started this matchup? She changed the whole thing around. I mean, this was welcome to War Games, Io Shirai.
The damage continues right here. Io Shirai's body crashing against the steel.
Yeah, I've spoken glowingly about Dakota Kai's ability to absorb punishment. Usually in the ring, the bigger a superstar, in my experience, the better they are at being durable, at taking that punishment. Dakota Kai has a slight frame, but wow, can she absorb a beating, get up, and keep on swinging.
Dakota Kai as tough as they come. Right here, speaking as tough as they come, boom, an elbow to the temple of Cora Jade.
Welcome to the big time, Cora Jade.
Now, Cora Jade grabbed the skateboard immediately, and Dakota Kai shutting her down. But you talk about Dakota Kai, let's talk about Kaylee Ray, and let's talk about the resiliency of these women. I mean, it was smart strategy to put those two on their teams to start them in War Games.
2 of the most unhinged superstars in the division in Kaylee Ray and Dakota Kai. Durability, experience, that is exactly who you want kicking this kind of matchup off.
Oh! And face first goes Dolan, but look at Kaylee Ray walked right into Dakota Kai. Cora Jade trying to climb as fast as she can. Bodies everywhere inside the War Games. Wow! Oh!
That's a narrow space there.
Oh, Jade's not done. Dolan! Where'd Gigi Dolan come from?
Turn your back at your peril in this kind of matchup. If you can, keep your back to the fence at all times. It's almost impossible.
When you take a look at all the women that are in this matchup, the one thing they all have in common is a deep-rooted hatred for one another. And Mandy Rose sending out the next troop. That is Jacy Jayne, the other half of the Women's Tag Team Champions. And now with Jayne and Dolan, Women's Tag Team Champions in this matchup, the nod has to go in favor of Team Toxic, Beth, at this juncture.
I mean, Gigi and Jayne having an opportunity here to level up, step it up. Wow! Things are about to get even more brutal in that War Games cage.
Let's bring in some more toys, as if it wasn't dangerous enough.
You ask, and the War Games match will answer. What more can these women bring into this matchup? The War Games cage wasn't enough?
I dread to think if there's anything else sitting under that ring right now, because right now it is a bomb site in there. Utter destruction, chaos. Oh, it's only going to get worse from here.
And Kaylee Ray bouncing off of those solid steel chairs. And we talk about Team Toxic. Jacy Jayne is the freshest of all the competitors. Her and Dolan, Beth, have a rapport.
Absolutely, as tag team champions, they've had plenty of time to build that chemistry, and now you're seeing an example of it right here.
Oh, and a knee right under the jaw could be the knockout blow.
Listen, you make a great point. In my opinion, these two teams...
Yeah, you see Mandy Rose flaunting, but here, bam, Jacy Jayne turning things around in a hurry.
What a shocking landing for Kaylee Ray.
NXT Universe is splitting. Jacy Jayne mocking Io Shirai.
Caught her own tag partner flush.
But a miscommunication, and now Shirai starting to answer back in this matchup. And look, the one thing we can mention though, Beth, Io Shirai really hasn't gotten out of the gates. If Io Shirai can start to string together some offense like she is right now, she's gonna turn things around by herself.
As there's a reason she's called the genius of the sky. No one is more comfortable on that top rope, or dare I say it, top of the cage.
Oh.
She is a Spitfire.
Oh my word.
Oh, the feint kick from Shirai. Rose isn't happy. Gonzalez is fired up, and Shirai is in control. And Jacy Jayne does not like the odds, and Beth, there's no timeouts in War Games.
Nowhere to run either.
Oh, we got a tug of war on our hands.
Well, Team Toxic losing in the tug of war battle. And Jacy Jayne could be moments of being wiped out of War Games. This is how dangerous War Games is. This is how unpredictable Kaylee Ray and Shirai were trying to figure out. Cora Jade taking it upon herself. We talked about the moxie of Cora Jade.
Oh no, do not do it, Cora.
Jade throwing caution to the wind.
Youthful exuberance, no!
Oh! But you can see on the look of the NXT Universe at what cost.
Yeah, forget the NXT Universe. Look at the faces of Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray. Cora Jade is in a world of hurt. That left shoulder of hers from such a high-risk move from the top of the structure.
And we've talked about the dangers of this sort of matchup as Kaylee Ray right in on Dakota Kai. We talk about the dangers, but again, Beth, just
check out the rotation here. Oh.
This is just Cora Jade trying to prove herself to the other veterans on her team and coming a corner in the process. A sickening landing. It was bad enough for Jane. Jane hasn't moved ever since, but for Cora Jade, you see her coming down at a horrible angle on that left shoulder. Just 20 years old, the youngest competitor in the history of War Games. Is this where the matchup ends for Cora Jade?
I don't know how Jade can continue to compete. She can't even move that arm.
Well, as this match is continuing, Kaylee Ray looking on for her teammate, trying to keep Dakota Kai down because only 2 women are left to enter the fray, one being Raquel Gonzalez, the other is Mandy Rose.
We got medical staff wanting to check on Cora Jade.
And Io Shirai said, I got this. Shirai keeping Cora Jade in the fight with 10 seconds to go.
I think Shirai will pop Jade's shoulder back in.
Dr. Shirai.
Well, nonetheless, Cora Jade screaming in pain. That is what happens when you step into War Games. And here comes Raquel.
Big Mami cool.
And Gonzalez, War Games 2020, the launching point in the career of the former NXT Women's Champion.
Gonzalez became the most dominant women's champion in recent history. It all began after her performance at War Games. She pinned Io Shirai to get the victory for her team, and many consider that the pivotal moment as a shift in the entire women's division.
Yeah, well, this is the final opportunity now for Raquel Gonzalez and the rest of her team to take advantage of that numbers game. A lot of time being eaten up here with the potential injury to Cora Jade, and now Raquel Gonzalez searching desperately under the ring for more toys to fire into the ring.
And it's important to note, too, is there's that shovel bat.
That's a familiar weapon.
Oh, and there's Dakota Kai. And Kai does not want to feel the wrath of Raquel.
Well, Raquel looking for a little retribution. It was that shovel that cost Raquel Gonzalez the NXT Women's Championship.
And put the gold around the waist of Mandy Rose.
And what a smart move from Team Toronto.
Talk about smart move. Heads up by Gonzalez. And finally, Raquel, Io, Jade, Kaylee Ray, their team is entirely in War Games.
I would not want to be in that ring right now if I was a part of Team Toxic. The clock is ticking, but it is a long way until these numbers get evened up.
Hold on a second.
Raquel could be looking to take out the trash.
Oh, an act of humiliation. The contortionist.
No. Oh! Beth Phoenix in your Hall of Fame career, have you ever seen anything like that?
I can say with absolute certainty, never.
And you saw Gonzalez and Shirai, we talked about last year, it was Gonzalez who pinned Io Shirai. Is Gonzalez looking on to Cora Jade?
Cora Jade is in a match. She needs to be taken out of this match.
That's not going to happen.
To be a distraction to a team.
That's not going to happen, but where in the hell is Io Shirai headed?
Shirai on the top of the cage with a garbage can looks awful familiar.
Well, Dakota Kai's seen that movie before. Didn't like the ending then. Trying to change it now. Just under 2 minutes until the final superstar, that being NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose, will enter the matchup, and then the Women's War Games match will officially begin.
This is becoming a scramble.
Oh no.
6 women balanced precariously. The most powerful of all at the bottom in Raquel Gonzalez. Double powerbomb.
And Gonzalez again with her hands. Oh! On.
Rough landing for Dakota Kai, but...
Well, I don't think the rough landing's quite over, Beth.
Dakota Kai has that look.
Oh! Genius of the sky!
Shirai willing to destroy herself to bring a victory home for her team.
And Gonzalez quickly back over to Cora Jade, and look, with all the competitors down, we all know that this match doesn't officially begin until Mandy Rose makes it into the matchup. Is this wise of Raquel? After we'll see this Io Shirai moonsault one more time, is it wise of Raquel to be checking on Cora Jade?
I mean, at this point, Cora Jade may have a... Take a look at this impact from the side again across the chest of Io Shirai. But I mean, Cora Jade could have a separated shoulder, and that's a teammate of Raquel Gonzalez that would leave her to do more on her own.
Well, look, War Games is officially about to begin. Comes the NXT Women's Champion who flaunts her experience, Wade. She's never experienced War Games.
Oh, here we go. And now the numbers are about to be evened up as the leader of Team Toxic enters the matchup. Listen, there's nothing that can match the fear and trepidation of stepping inside this structure, but Mandy has competed at WrestleMania. She's competed in Elimination Chambers, in Royal Rumbles. She is used to the spotlight, the high pressure. That is where the experience came kicking for Mandy Rose.
Yeah, she's also used to targeting an injured superstar.
Come on.
That's about the smartest thing you can do.
Does your arm hurt, Steph? Does it hurt? Does it hurt?
just trying to pick up the scraps. Shirai having none of it. And you question unity, you question a team. Shirai, Gonzalez sticking up for their fallen teammate.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that. These teams are polar opposites in terms of cohesion.
This is the scene. Women's War Games officially underway.
Who on earth wants to make the first move here?
Battle lines have been drawn.
For all intents and purposes, it is now down to 3 on 4. What's Kaylee Ray doing?
Well, Kaylee Ray giving Cora Jade the ultimate equalizer. It is on.
Cora Jade looked petrified, but I think Kaylee Ray had good intentions.
Whoa. So much action. Body spilling all over both these rings. Cover, and now Io Shirai has to break things up because now War Games is officially underway. The referees are in the ring to count the 3 or, see someone submit.
Absolute chaos.
Shirai into the cover off the German suplex, and this time Jane has to break things up.
It could all be over in a matter of 3 seconds. This spectacle continues to unfold.
Spine buster right on the steel chair. And you gotta wonder for a moment, for Kaylee Ray, is Raquel Gonzalez turning things around? How are each of these women gonna be able to continue to compete this late into the game? Is Gonzalez with one arm overpowering Dolan?
To me, at this point, it has to be down to Raquel Gonzalez and Mandy Rose to win this matchup for their respective teams. They are the freshest people in a matchup. They have to make the downs.
No way. No way.
You're right, no way. That is the power of Team Toxic and Toxic Attraction. What a cohesive unit.
And now Mandy Rose, Jane, Dolan, wearing down Wade, whom you called the strongest competitor in the matchup.
It's punishment time. This is the absolute smartest thing that Mandy Rose and her ladies can do at this point. Take out the biggest woman in the matchup, the former NXT champion, Raquel Gonzalez. That is the danger.
Rose quickly into the cover, along with Jane. It's somehow Cora Jade breaking things up. And Cora Jade has only one arm. She's got only one arm to fight through War Games.
Only one arm, but a huge heart. Cora Jade putting her body on the line.
That might be the biggest mistake of Cora Jade's short career here in NXT.
I don't like the looks of this.
I hate to agree with Wade Barrett and Cora Jade. If she's going down, she's going to go down swinging for the fences.
It's 4 on 1 here.
Jade has managed to take him out.
And the numbers advantage, just too much, overcoming Cora Jade.
In the den of the Lionesses. Just catching the side of the jaw of Cora Jade.
This may be it, and Jade somehow kicked out. Rose is shocked. Jade almost shocked herself.
Jade showing that resilience that her teammates knew she had in her.
Jade with just one arm, how is she going to be able to overcome the odds? And now Mandy Rose, again, if Cora Jade submits, this match is over.
Cora Jade needs a bloody ambulance at this point.
No, she got something better. Io Shirai.
Io Shirai with a kendo stick. Something I would never want to confront.
Jane with the steel chair, which it is all legal at this juncture of the matchup. And one more time, Kaylee Ray bouncing off the steel cage.
Wow! Chingona bomb from Raquel Gonzalez.
Both women, same idea. Taking each other out.
All 8 women down and out now, but Cora Jade stirring.
Jade into the cover. Shoulders at Io. Jade did it.
Shirai, Raquel Gonzalez, Katie Ray, and Cora Jade.
Well, get Cora Jade some medical attention ASAP, and when that's finished, get her a bottle of champagne. What a shocker.
Well, she's only 20 years old, Wade. It'd be a little bit too early. They can put it on ice for another year. But what a victory for Cora Jade, Raquel Gonzalez, Kaylee Ray, and Io Shirai. Cora Jade, one arm and all. Look, we talked about high risk. We talk about high rewards for Cora Jade, for this team, for all 8 women. They knew the dangers of entering in to the War Games match, and Cora Jade laid it all on the line.
Take a look, here's a moment, Cora Jade finding her moment to shine, but unfortunately a rough landing. This would begin the injury for Jade. One more look here, you can see the rotation and how she landed. This would be the beginning of the trouble.
And look, it was Io Shirai, as Wade put it, Dr. Shirai hopping, putting back into place, we assume, Cora Jade's injured shoulder. Io Shirai waved off medical, she shut the cage, she said, we have it, but as this match progressed, we questioned, what was Kaylee Ray thinking? Kaylee Ray swinging for the fences, giving Cora Jade the opportunity to continue to fight in this matchup, but I mean, this match was hard-hitting. There was chaos all over both these rings. Somehow, though, Cora Jade continued to fight.
Cora Jade continuing to fight, but Toxic Attraction trying to pick up the weakest link with Cora Jade, but this shocking moment right here, Jade showing that resilience, showing what she's made of, and somehow kicking it out.
I mean, it raised our eyebrows here on the announce desk. Raquel Gonzalez hit the huge Chincona bomb, boom, isolated herself along with Gigi Dolan, and that allowed Cora Jade, wise beyond her years, to crawl into the cover, overcome all the adversity she did in this matchup, and send her team home with the War Games victory.
Cora Jade, that is how you earn the respect of the veteran talent here in NXT. Hats off to you.
Biggest win of Jade's career here at War Games.
Empty boxes?
Sorry, kids. It's not Santa's fault. It was the supply chain. But there is one box you didn't open. That small one right there.
WrestleMania tickets!
The only gift that guarantees a Merry Christmas. Live from AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. WrestleMania 38. The most stupendous 2-night WrestleMania in history.
Journal entry, Tiffany's Epiphanies.
And they wonder how I do what I do, 'cause I'm a rich chick.
Since the day I was born, my daddy called me his little princess.
'Cause I'm a rich chick.
And a princess should always drive the coolest cars, shop at the nicest boutiques, and wear the hottest clothes.
And they wonder how I do what I do, 'cause I'm a rich chick.
I mean, who looks at the price tag of anything anyways? They're just a bunch of numbers.
'Cause I'm a rich chick.
And where I shop, Black Friday and Cyber Monday doesn't exist. My dad says I can be anything I want, and I want to be an NXT superstar.
I wonder how I do what I do, because I'm rich, bitch.
Look, a lot of people are asking me about my story. So here it is. I grew up in Alabama. I love sports. It was always my outlet. I wasn't always the best, but I was always the meanest. That's the way my dad taught me. He also taught me how to cook a steak. I leave this thing on so long that it would come out medium rare. The only way a man should eat is steak. Speaking of men, let me tell you a story about when I became a man. One of the other players tried to take a cheap shot at me, so I took my helmet off and beat him down so bad with it that he ended up in the hospital. Sometimes I beat him so bad I drove him there myself. And I showed them what a real man looks like. At least that's what my dad says anyways. You know, he didn't really care too much about me getting kicked off the football team. He was just happy that I didn't tarnish the family name by looking weak. That's the only thing. That brings me happiness. That and kicking the shit out of somebody. So whether it's at the county fair, on the football field, or in the ring, we might not always win, but we will make you second guess. Getting in the ring with us.
我无法控制住他。魅音把他的力量和精神传给了我，他反复无常，我无法控制。当你一旦掌控了他，你将会惧怕BOA。
NXT 2.0 has arrived, and we brought some new drip. NXT Shop, yeah, it's like that. Tonight only, Black Friday pricing returns. Save up to 75% off, only at NXTShop.com.
I can't believe we lost the tag team titles, bro. Yeah, but do you really think that this is gonna work out? We have to go see him. He is a master of tag team. Nothing can get in our way. Let's go see the shaman. Let's go. Kiss the thing.
It's him.
Boys, War Games. Huh? I said War Games.
Yeah!
Guys, I'm excited. I've been waiting for years to get in this match. This is my first War Games. Might be my last, but I couldn't think of a better group of guys to go to war with.
Your first, my first. These guys have done it before, but the one thing we've all done is we've all had the big match feeling we got there right now. The other locker room right now, you got a bunch of scared little boys because they ain't ever felt this before. But they have that little glimmer of hope thinking, oh, we have the one-man advantage, right? No! Somebody told them the wrong damn story. Yeah!
Cruiserweight. It's beautiful. Guys, tonight is big for us. Big for you. Tonight, it's not just our moment. Tonight, it's your moment.
Well, after how we kicked off tonight, I cannot wait for the men's War Games match.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers, Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner.
And Beth O'Reilly and Wagner earned this championship opportunity here tonight, this past Tuesday.
We saw them defeat Legado del Fantasma after a heart-stopping contest, but what I love is they really found some chemistry as a team. They've been capturing this momentum that I think puts them in a great position coming in tonight's massive opportunity.
It's hard to argue this team starting to gel, whether it's been in the ring, whether it's been out of the ring. Von Wagner, Kyle O'Reilly, only time will tell if their success and bond can grow and blossom into a championship moment here tonight at War Games.
They are the NXT Tag Team Champions, Imperium!
They are the champions, Wade, but are they overconfident heading into tonight?
Listen, you're not brash, you're not arrogant if you can constantly back it up. Are they confident? Yes, of course they are. They're two-time NXT Tag Team Champions. They have a history of excellence in ring, and that comes as standard with Imperium. They never cause faults. Are they overconfident? I don't think so. The history of Imperium is long and storied. The history of Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner is about 4 weeks old.
I want to remind you tonight, courtesy of NXT's official partner, DraftKings, everyone can play free for a share of $10,000 prizes and a free-to-play NXT pools. Just make your picks for tonight's Men's War Games main event matchup, like which team will win. Who will be the WWE superstar that records the win? Or will foreign objects be brought into the cage? If you get enough correct, you'll earn your share of a guaranteed $10,000 cash prize. Be sure to download the app, sign up with the code NXT, and play free tonight. Right now, it is all about the hashtag NXT Tag Team titles.
Yeah, don't they look fantastic? That is European elegance at its finest. The house of Burberry, Gucci, Yves Saint Laurent, all of them have gone into building this team European class. I might be slightly biased, obviously, just slightly.
A lot of bias from you, Barrett. You know, we talk about confidence with Imperium, but they always walk the line of going too far. They look down on the rest of the division. It's got me concerned that they're taking these guys too lightly.
I don't think they're taking them lightly. Literally, the Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner experience thus far, apart from last week, which you've gloated about against Legado del Fantasma, it's been littered with miscues and false starts. This could potentially end up being a very easy defense for Imperium if things do not click for Von Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly.
Well, how come when I'm saying things, it's gloating when you say it's spinning facts? I don't, Barrett, you're a little biased.
That's a pretty good point there, Beth Phoenix. But the one phrase and a couple of key buzzwords, so to speak, that a lot of members of the NXT and WWE Universe bring up when they talk about Bartel and Fabian Eichner, Beth, are brash. The word arrogant comes to mind as well. They're going to have to really bring their A game here tonight. Oh, O'Reilly quickly trying to transition into a submission. Bartel realizing it, roll through, and O'Reilly has to relinquish the hold.
I mean, that's an attitude that we see from them frequently. That, like I said, the way they look down on everybody else. Look, nobody doubts their technical prowess in the ring. They're fantastic. Eichner's such an incredible hybrid athlete. He can do everything. But there's no reason you have to say it all the time. Just show me. Do it. Do it in the ring.
Well, we all know that the tag team division, Beth, is looking on to this championship showdown. Oh, wow.
Talk about Legado del Fantasma, Briggs and Jensen, GYV. All these teams have their eyes on the champions, and Imperium's got a target on their backs.
I want to be clear here. I'm not taking anything away from Kyle O'Reilly, former 3-time tag team champion here in NXT with different partners. Who's to say he can't do it again tonight with Von Wagner? I'm not sold yet on Von Wagner. Does he have the ability to follow Kyle's lead? Yes, he's big, he's strong, he's powerful, got a lot of potential. I just don't know if he's quite ready to make that leap to championship caliber just yet.
Well, right now, Wagner tagging in and single-handedly taking apart Eichner into the cover for the titles. And Eichner able to kick out at 2, but Beth, is it a breakthrough for the team of Wagner and O'Reilly? Is again a second cover of the matchup for Wagner, another kick out with that win over Legado del Fantasma? Have they found that winning combination?
It's a massive breakthrough. I mean, with the competitive landscape of the tag division in plain sight, I mean, to have an opportunity like this just speaks to how much they're getting on the same page as a team.
Well, right now you're seeing them on the same page.
I just could not disagree more with Beth Phoenix on that point. Let's not get too carried away with one victory against Legado del Fantasma. Even a stop clock gets it right twice a day, and I'm still to be convinced that that victory against Legado del Fantasma last week was not a stopped clock moment for Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner. Add to that, there was a distraction in that particular matchup when Zion Quinn came down to ringside, caused all sorts of a kerfuffle on the outside, so forgive me for not being quite as excited as everyone else about this new tag team.
That's a hell of a Scrabble word he just pulled off. Well, right now, it's Kyle O'Reilly, and the distraction from Bartel, as slight and small as it was, opening the door. Eichner turning it around with that snap suplex, and in comes Bartel. And now Imperium right where they want O'Reilly to be.
You're downplaying their win, but literally they're in a championship match right now. It only takes one win to hold the gold tonight.
I ain't denying that for a second, but one win against Imperium is pretty hard to come by.
And now Bartel measuring O'Reilly. Oh, O'Reilly caught Bartel right under the jaw.
Perfectly to the point, but look at the recovery ability of Marcel Bartel, former amateur boxer, and you can tell this man can take a whack to the floor and keep ticking.
Bartel, we talk about that overconfidence, but look, at the end of the day, Wade, for Imperium, yes, they are the NXT Tag Team Champions, and they're still on this quest to restore order as Wagner checks back into the match.
They're on the quest to follow the General Walters instructions from a couple of months ago at this point, as Von Wagner showed an impressive display of strength and power, trying to take control of this matchup. Stop me in my tracks.
Yeah, but right now, Walter will not be very happy with what he is witnessing as Wagner trying to overpower Bartel. Bartel quickly, wisely makes the tag. In comes Eichner, the powerhouse of the two. And now take a look at these two. Swing and a miss. In comes Eichner, who just caught Von Wagner.
Pound for pound, the strongest man in NXT, and that is why capturing a flying Von Wagner like it was nothing.
Absolute, Beth, unreal strength.
I can't believe my eyes, just catching 240 pounds and just easily pressing that weight back up and then delivering this. Incredible 360 slam.
That was some solid deep squats right there. Vic Joseph, we need to get you hitting some deep squats pretty soon. You've got those spindly legs we need to fix.
Well, I'm focused on the NXT Tag Team titles at this moment.
Decapitation.
You ain't kidding. Tag was made, and in comes O'Reilly. And look, O'Reilly taking out Fabian Eichner, and we've talked about O'Reilly's past in the tag team division. Teaming with Wagner now. I talked to O'Reilly earlier tonight, Beth, and he said he spent a lot of time talking to Von Wagner about keeping the emotions in check.
And O'Reilly's been on this stage many times. He's been victorious in War Games, been in event matches. He's talked to Wagner about keeping his emotions in check. A lot of these 2.0 superstars haven't performed under a microscope like this. There's many more eyes watching, and it's time to level up.
Take a look at the combination offense now by O'Reilly, starting to chop down Marcel Bartel.
Just textbook Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai skills from Kyle O'Reilly.
O'Reilly talking a little bit of trash, too. Oh, come on!
Yeah, and there he comes a cropper for it. That's the mistake. Imperium will sucker you in. They'll antagonize you with their sour-faced antics, but that is where you need to remain focused.
And take a look at this impact right here to Kyle O'Reilly. Boom! Right across the collarbone. Imperium also adept at doing it behind the referee's back.
And again, you talk about behind the official's back. We've seen Wagner and we've seen O'Reilly in the past, well, get bit by officials, so to speak. I should say Legado del Fantasma has the beef on that.
They just don't have the fluidity of a team that has been around seemingly forever, like Imperium. That's why these guys are the absolute alpha dogs at the top of the ladder in the NXT Tag Division.
You just hear the forearms from Eichner, the powerhouse. And, you know, Beth, you mentioned earlier tonight, you thought maybe Imperium would be overlooking their challengers.
100%. I mean, you see that trash talking right there. This is the overconfidence coming into play. If you can get a pinfall, if you can get a submission, why not do that? Why drag it out?
Here the NXT Universe split between these two teams as O'Reilly just wiped out Bartel and Eichner. And this is the moment now for Kyle O'Reilly. He is a long way away from Von Wagner, but desperately, O'Reilly needs to make a tag if he and Wagner want to win the NXT titles, but there's Eichner. Right place, right time. I spoke too soon.
Well, what a nice idea from Eichner, but it wasn't to be. The big man is back. Von Wagner about to clean house.
And look at Von Wagner, who's just changing this matchup single-handedly. Nice high running knee. Now turns his attention to Bartel. Von Wagner, who's hitting anything that moves. Whoa, and ooh!
Just effortless, explosive strength from Von Wagner.
Nice gut wrench from Wagner. And again, we got to remember Von Wagner in his first night here in NXT was a half a second away from crowning himself NXT champion.
He is fired up, and so is this arena. They smell a tag title change tonight. I'm yet to be convinced, but this is impressive from the big man.
Wagner, Beth, just mowing down Imperium.
Continuing that aggressive exchange, Wagner is on the right track. You cannot give Imperium any space to breathe.
Uh-oh.
He is kicking ass right now. Good for him.
You can feel the passion oozing as Kyle O'Reilly back to his feet. Not long, just measured and dropped Eichner. And you can see how the rings are located here tonight. They're in a different spot, and oh! Wagner into the cover, center of the ring, and just able to kick out was Bartel. But I mentioned where the rings were located. Kyle O'Reilly realizing that, and take a look at the knee, bam, and then the landing for Aichner.
A veteran experience of Kyle O'Reilly giving Von Wagner the opportunity to hit that spectacular Olympic slam, but it would not be enough to keep Bartel down.
Listen to these shots.
Just windmill shots from Marcel Bartel, absorbed by the big man Von Wagner.
Wagner just too powerful, just dropping. Marcel Bartel, oh no! And somehow, Aichner back to his feet.
Oh, this is what Imperium do best. Count them out at your peril. Always finding a second, maybe a third win. I guarantee you Von Wagner has never experienced that before.
Aichner in the cover to retain the tag team gold, and Wagner able to get the left shoulder just off the mat.
Imperium, like a well-oiled machine, those quick tags can be a fresh man in. We know what's coming next.
This could be the, no, I was gonna say the Imperial bomb, but instead, Wagner changing everything around. Wagner again, mowing down Imperium. There's the tag, and in comes O'Reilly. And O'Reilly has been in these situations before where he's got to switch gears.
He was barely able to stand up there, going high risk though, attacking the ankle.
And now looking for that heel hook.
Slapped it on, center of the ring, Bartel in agony.
Submission, center of the ring. Is Bartel gonna tap out? Are we gonna crown new NXT Tag Team Champions?
This has to be it for Kyle O'Reilly, four-time tag champion. He can taste the gold.
Bartel trying to fight through the pain. So close to the bottom rope. Wait a minute. Aichner.
The strength of a super heavyweight, the balance, the poise of a luchador.
Oh God, take a look at the precision right here to execute this moonsault, just total perfection.
Yeah, that's not a fresh Aichner either. That is an Aichner who has taken an absolute beating. To be able to pull that off at this point in the matchup, at the most critical moment.
Tag was made. Aichner is now legal. Aichner running interference, wiping out Wagner. O'Reilly all by himself. Whoa. Guillotine. Wagner just wiped out Bartel. Guillotine.
Kyle O'Reilly can pull that.
Is that a tap? Tap it. Referee's in great position. Aichner starting to fade.
Tap out. Apparently not.
The inside cradle. Inside cradle. Shoulders down. Cover. Count. Wait a minute. Bartel. Oh, wow.
Call the ending of this one if you dare.
Oh, my heart is racing.
O'Reilly, Aichner. Oh! Same page. And both men down. You can hear the appreciation from the NXT universe as O'Reilly makes the tag. In comes Wagner. On the other side, in comes Bartel.
This matchup could have ended about 15 times in the past 60 seconds.
What it means to be tag team champions here in NXT.
Now it's a good old-fashioned slugfest.
Oh! Aichner from behind.
Shot block, just as Von Wagner was finding some flow.
The official trying to regain control in this matchup is Wagner. Trying to overcome it. Oh, the high-low. Connects. Cover. Come on. Oh!
Just a beat too long. Referee had his back turned there. If he'd have turned around a split second faster, we'd have new tag champions.
You don't get much closer than that, Beth Phoenix.
Man, you're not kidding, and the NXT Universe agrees.
Kyle O'Reilly back to being the legal superstar in this matchup for his team.
Bartel has no idea where he's at right now. He's right for the pickings.
And now wait a minute. Wagner running in. Wagner just got isolated by Bartel.
Bartel acting on instinct.
O'Reilly on rubber legs. Tag was made. In comes Aichner. And Aichner
focusing in on O'Reilly. Presence of mind to wipe out Wagner. Wagner's on the outside. O'Reilly's all by himself. Looking for that guillotine again instead. Shrimp. Wow! Brainbuster, center of the ring. Cover. Count. New champions. Transition into a submission. Looking for the tap is O'Reilly.
Cross arm breaker, center of the ring, but somehow Aichner managing to block it himself.
Another transition into another submission. Aichner starting to fade. Triangle locked in. O'Reilly trying to squeeze Aichner. Everything he's got left for O'Reilly. Trying to help, trying to squeeze.
Just a textbook way of moving through those submissions. This has to be out.
No way. Again. Where is Aichner getting this strength from?
There's the tag.
Bartel's legal. Boom! Imperial bomb. Cover. Count. Bartel and Aichner retain.
Here are your winners, and still the NXT Tag Team Champions, Imperium.
Oh, I need a cold shower after that match. What a technical masterpiece. What a masterpiece of tag team competition. But ultimately, that European elegance that I talked about, Imperium standing tall with the championships.
No doubt, a stunning back and forth, a spectacle. You said it best, Beard. I hate to say this, but that was a technical masterpiece.
Let's go back to some of this action, Beth. I mean, Fabian Aichner was just absolutely flying around the ring.
Firing on all cylinders. I mean, the precision right here, the athleticism. I mean,
the presence of mind to basically stop on a dime on the top rope.
I mean, but this moment here, I was sure Aichner was out, but then coming to that wide base, somehow hoisting the body of Kyle O'Reilly after everything he's been through, and Imperium displaying that tag team proficiency, like always, and delivering the victory, maintaining the tag team title.
Unreal match.
I expect greatness from Imperium, but we saw a very different side from Fabian Aichner tonight. What on earth else has he got in his pocket? But hats off to these two. They've convinced me tonight.
Yeah, the tag team division no doubt continues to be purified, but hats off to the team of Wagner and O'Reilly here tonight, who really stepped up.
Oh!
What?
Oh!
What did we just witness?
Another tag partner turning on Kyle O'Reilly, or at least trying to, but it backfired for Von Wagner.
Ikemen Jiro. Welcome to Ike Mansion. When you think of Japanese superstar, you think of strong style. But when you think of Ikemen Jiro, you think of style strong. A lot of people ask me, what does Ikemen mean? Ikemen means handsome man. I am Ikemen. Handsome man. Handsome man needs handsome jackets. Thank you for visiting the Ike Mansion. Remember, Style Store.
Suerte te de Dios, mijo. Those were the first words I've ever heard in this business. And I've always been blessed by it. Class, sophistication, and raw power to command respect. I am Santos Escobar, and no one can touch me.
It was a special era. So much good entertainment, and that's what Ruthless Aggression is.
You will bear witness to the Elimination Chamber.
I am Money in the Bank.
Edge is cashing in when John Cena is at his weakest.
I didn't want to be that girl on the side anymore. I wanted to be in the ring, being a badass.
I hadn't been in the ring in 4 years.
The Heartbreak Kid is back!
The next generation of talent is everything. It had to evolve.
Ruthless Aggression.
Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar. A huge match for you this Tuesday against Zion Quinn. Your thoughts?
Let me put it this way. Zion Quinn mordió más de lo que puede masticar. He bit off more than he can chew. And this Tuesday, reality is gonna hit him in the face.
Well, with that and with everyone here, what about Elektra meeting up with Zion Quinn last week?
Mackenzie, as you very well know, we are la familia. And much like any family, our affairs are resolved behind closed doors.
And just so we're clear, I am a grown-ass woman. And what I do in my time is none of Mackenzie's business.
You're listening to Shoot My Shot by IDK and Offset from the album You See Yourself, the official theme of NXT War Games, available now on Apple Music and Spotify.
And from shooting your shot to cashing in your chips, what started as a friendly game of poker ended in total humiliation for Cameron Grimes. Duke Hudson and Grimes will settle their grudge tonight with high stakes as they both put their hair on the line.
Hey, Duke Hudson here. NXT superstar, professional poker player. The two go hand in hand. See, it doesn't matter whether it's the squared circle or a poker table. If I can play with your mind, then I've beaten you before it even begins.
What's up? Hey, tough luck with the ladies. I really feel for you. You still got that money?
I still got that money. You still got them cards?
Yeah.
I'll see you next week in Duke's Poker Room.
Gentlemen, welcome to the Poker Showdown. One final round of betting will take place and the players will reveal their hands.
I'm all in.
I'm gonna live to fight another day. I fall.
I didn't even know you could fold.
I need to know how good your flush was.
You don't want to see that.
You bluffed me. You bluffed me, Grimes.
I kept this hair and this beard to remind me of my humble beginnings. Duke Hudson, you took all that away from me.
I'm helping you, Grimes. I'm trying to transform you to somewhat of a normal human being.
Let's go all in. You want the rest, Duke? Duke Hudson, Cameron Grimes. NXT War Games. Hair versus hair.
You're on.
You know, apparently, when you humiliated me, and I humiliated you back by giving you a haircut, internet says all I did was make you more handsome. So we're gonna change that.
At War Games,
I'm gonna take the hair, I'm gonna take the beard, and Grimes, on Sunday, I'm gonna shave you as bald as the day that you were born.
War Games, Duke. I'm shaving you bald.
Oh yes, that is where the magic is gonna happen tonight. The Clippers, the Barber's Chair. You can be sure that Lady Luck will be back on the side of the king of stud poker tonight. The 6'5" Antipodean hunk with the bones and the nerves of steel.
The following is a hair versus hair match. Introducing first, Duke Hudson.
How do you know he has buns of steel?
Well,
He told me.
moving on from that, why are you so confident in Duke Hudson?
Listen, I like a lot about the Duke. The man is 6'5", as I mentioned. He's shredded, he's a dominant competitor, he's as smooth as they come. He is the master of stud poker with a calm temperament, just a natural born winner and a level of class above Grimes.
And we want you to remember, don't forget there's still time. You can play for free right now for your share of $10,000 in prizes from DraftKings in the free-to-play NXT pools. Download the app right now. Make your picks on the main event men's War Games match. You can earn your share of a guaranteed $10,000 cash prize. Be sure to download the app, sign up with the code NXT, and play free tonight.
You know, I can recall an appearance by Wade the Barber Barrett in 2013. I mean, that didn't work out very well for you, did it, Barrett?
All right.
Didn't you get your beard shaved off?
All right, listen, Betty.
We should
This
run
might
it
be
back.
the final night here, but I'm not going to let you get away with that. This is 2021 now. Let's get in the here and now. 2030.
Get hot.
And his opponent, Cameron Grimes.
As much as I'm going to miss Beth taking cheap shots at Wade Barrett, Beth, we got to get serious about this matchup because for the superstar making his way to the ring, there's a lot more on the line than just hair for Cameron Grimes.
Totally. I mean, this is about a man's pride. I mean, yeah, Grimes is fun-loving. NXT Universe loves him. He connects. He relates to everyone. But Grimes has said that that hair, that beard, that's a part of where he came from. It's a tribute to his roots. This is meaningful, and it's all about giving Duke Hudson what's coming to him.
Sometimes you outgrow your roots, and I can tell you, whatever humble beginnings Cameron Grimes came from, he is a superstar here in NXT, and he needs to leave that garbage in his past. He looks way better without that scraggly beard.
Well, coming right out of the gates, Hudson and Grimes, and this has really turned into a personal vendetta over the last several months, bringing it to tonight here at War Games, as Hudson right now just taking it to Cameron Grimes. But look, the bold challenge of hair versus hair, Beth, it was made by Cameron Grimes.
What was Grimes gonna do? Hudson forced his hand. Grimes got one over on him by outsmarting him and then got powerbombed through a table for it. I mean, that just speaks to the type of trash human Duke Hudson is.
Did you say a bold challenge or a boldy challenge? Because either way, somebody's getting shaved bald tonight.
Well, you just see the nasty landing for, we talked about how there's two rings here tonight. The steel steps not typically there, and you can see already the welts forming on the back of Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, real nice start for Cameron Grimes, but of course, sorry, Duke Hudson, but a Cameron Grimes, of course.
Whoa, I think you said it right the first time. A great start by Grimes.
Listen, Grimes has had a little lady look here and there, but now he's got himself overconfident. He's overreaching at this point, and he's going to come crashing back down to earth, along with that mop of greasy hair at the end of this match.
Referee at 7 is Duke Hudson making his way back in. Look at no wasted motion from Cameron Grimes. And Beth, you hit on so much for Cameron Grimes in this match, more than just hair. And look, Cameron Grimes has been overcoming the odds his entire life. Oh no. Is he going to overcome one arm and all the strength from Duke Hudson. And this goes back to what Wade was talking about, the impressive physique of Hudson, who right now is just trying to send a message to his opponent.
The man is an animal in there, just battering Cameron Grimes as we take another look at this effortless Uranagi in the corner there from the big man Duke Hudson, all 6'5" of that frame used to his maximum advantage there.
If Cameron Grimes doesn't want to be bald, he's going to have to overcome yet another obstacle.
Yeah, Hudson's a mountain of a man, but Cameron Grimes is used to climbing mountains. I mean, he's talked about...
come on!
Again, a cheap shot.
Not a cheap shot, shaved it.
Whoa, roll through shoulders down and a kick out.
When his hair gets shaved bald at the end of this match, nobody will ever be able to do that to Cameron Grimes again.
Don't speak too soon, Barrett. I mean, we've seen Grimes talk about what his father meant to him, his childhood, his journey, overcoming every obstacle. He's someone that we can all relate to.
Moonsault off the top rope. Is Hudson about to be bald and a
Except that, I don't know many of us that can do a moonsault that pretty.
I'm spotting a partisan vibe from you two. You're clearly in favor of Cameron Grimes. We are supposed to be neutral on this desk, just like I am.
How can you not
calling the kettle black over here?
Yeah, exactly. And how can you not like Cameron Grimes? The guy works hard, great attitude. There's nothing to not like about it.
How about smart at Duke Hudson finally just trying to head for higher ground to look at Cameron Grimes right out after him.
Suckered in Cameron Grimes. They're catching the boot, and once again, that 6'5" tossing Cameron Grimes onto the concrete. This is where Duke Hudson has to capitalize and make the most of this momentum that he is starting to build.
Well, yeah, and Duke Hudson certainly would love to take a count-out victory in this sort of matchup as the referee continuing to inch closer to 10. Cameron Grimes not even back to his feet. You can hear the official. The referee now at 8. Cameron Grimes, is he going to be able to beat the count? Grimes just gets back into the ring.
That was the slowest count I have ever heard from any referee in history. That was an absolute disgrace. The management of NXT should fine this referee after the match.
Barrett, I don't know what. You should have had one of the pieces of chocolate from earlier. You've been in a rotten mood all day.
The NXT Universe trying to get under the skin of Duke Hudson. And look, Wade, Hudson was outsmarted. He was out-strategized by Cameron Grimes. Why can't he just admit he wasn't the better man?
Because that's absolute BS, Vic Jones. If he was never outsmarted at any point, Hudson was frustrated that he was beaten by somebody employing pure luck. And I will make this clear, when you beat somebody at anything by luck, it is the least classy way to earn any form of victory. Cameron Grimes, when he beat Duke Hudson at poker in a fluke victory, should have apologized for winning in such a cheap way, and instead he decided to glow. And now he's going to get his just.
Oh, come on! That's the second time now, Beth, we have seen Duke Hudson cut a corner.
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised. I think Duke Hudson is extremely rattled by the fact that he could walk out of this match tonight bald.
Well, some believe Hudson crossed the line several weeks ago when he took some clippers to Cameron Grimes, which really escalated this personal vendetta.
Listen, I'm one of those people. There's no reason Hudson had to take the low road. He could have done some self-reflection, self-improvement, but instead, he's just a big, mean loser.
What are you talking about? Cameron Grimes looks 10 times better now he's had this makeover. He should be thanking Duke Hudson. It's the nicest thing anybody has ever done for Cameron Grimes.
Wait a minute, inside cradle, shoulders down, and whoa, near fall. And Duke Hudson was a half second away, but Hudson quickly mowing Cameron Grimes down.
Beth, don't think I haven't noticed you checking out the buns of steel of Duke Hudson as we check out that barber's chair that is going to come into employment very soon when this matchup ends.
Barrett, I think I'm going to shave your head on the way out tonight.
We just heard from Wade Barrett talking about the frustration of Duke Hudson. Is Cameron Grimes playing the cards again, very close to his vest? Is he trying to just frustrate Duke Hudson? Does he know something we don't?
We know that Cameron Grimes is so resilient. I talked about it earlier. He's overcome so many obstacles in his life. And if there's one thing I know is you can never count out Cameron Grimes. He's got a lot in the gas tank, and Duke Hudson better be careful.
That's something Cameron Grimes can count on, is maybe forcing the hand of Duke Hudson into making a mistake, as now we see Duke Hudson, though, continuing to apply the pressure.
Here's what I like about Duke Hudson. It's just complete mental control. The pacing is all dictated by Hudson. Competition in that ring is as much mental as it is physical, and a man like Hudson has it all under control.
Well, right now it's about fists, and Cameron Grimes just used it to break that hold. This is the space Grimes needs in this moment to swing the pendulum in his favor.
Cameron Grimes back to his feet, but look at Hudson quickly snatching up. Whoa, wait a minute. It's Cameron Grimes. Able to stay one step ahead for the moment, and I think Duke Hudson's eyes got really big when he looked and saw that barber's chair in the second ring. He doesn't want his destiny to be bald here in a second and an instant curry. And now Cameron Grimes starting to build some momentum in this matchup.
Big man Hudson starting to stall somewhat. What on earth?
Falling into the covers, Grimes. Grimes into the cover, and Hudson just kicked out.
How do you fling a man who is 6'5" tall, 250 pounds, around at 360 degrees like this?
Well, it's because Cameron Grimes is not your typical competitor. There's a reason he was called the technical savage, pulling out maneuvers like that. You saw Duke Hudson's eyes bugging out of his head.
It was like he saw a ghost as Cameron Grimes now rallying late in this matchup, showcasing his own strength, showcasing his own power.
Nice return there from Duke Hudson, though. Power of his own. A little shocker, perhaps, for Cameron Grimes. Oh! Spun it round into a DDT.
Well, how about that for a shot? Cover, count, and another near fall. And Beth, I mean, you can just feel the energy here amongst the NXT universe. Do you feel the momentum starting to slip away from Duke Hudson?
Oh, 100%. Cameron Grimes thrives in these underdog situations. He knows how to dig deep, and we've seen Grimes pull it out before.
First rule of poker, don't count your money when you're sitting at the table, Vic Joseph and Beth Phoenix. Nothing is clear at this point. Both men very much still in the match.
Oh, Grimes trying to take over. Oh, look, and Hudson. Come on!
Oh, I hate this referee. He's the worst.
Grimes turning things around. No, another near fall. Ooh, Grimes almost putting away Hudson.
Why is he the worst? Because he's actually doing his job?
He was counting incredibly slowly earlier. He's favoring one man in this matchup.
Super kick under the jaw. Hudson is rocked. And it doesn't matter if you're 6'6", you're the same size. Poison rana by Grimes.
Coming down hard on the back of the neck was Duke Hudson. He is in La-La Land right now.
Listen to the NXT universe. Fully behind Cameron Grimes. High cross body connects off the top rope. Is it enough to put Hudson away? And another near fall.
Such a tight pinfall attempt there from Cameron Grimes as we take another look at the sickening landing for the 6'5" Duke Hudson.
And the high cross body almost wiped the hair off the head of Duke Hudson.
Let me guess, it was a slow count then too. Was that a slow count?
I'm focusing on the here and now, Beth Phoenix. Let's not go back in time.
There's that boss man slam. Covered. No, not like this. And Grimes kicks out.
Winds of change there from Duke Hudson. Not quite enough. He cannot believe it.
You can imagine images of a bald Duke Hudson going through his mind. You can see that barber chair sitting right there in the spotlight. The future for one of these men.
And Hudson could be signaling the end right now.
Final ace in the pocket, Razor's edge. Oh! Reversed at the last second by Grimes.
Grimes, cover! Grimes! That's caught Hudson on the river!
Here's your winner, Cameron Grimes!
How on earth did that referee not spot the blatant handful of tights by Cameron Grimes? I told you that's a partisan referee.
Don't let the facts get away with a good story. Grimes is gonna shave Duke Hudson bald.
Oh yeah! Get the aftershave ready. I've got him some moisturizer we can get to make sure he gets a nice shine.
Absolutely not. That's not how this is done. That is not classy. Please start the matchup.
I brought some sunglasses so we can avoid the glare off of that cue ball head.
Realization of what's about to happen starting to set in for Duke Hudson. nice try. Nice try, Hudson. You got a date with the barber. That being Barber.
Don't talk so fast, Vic Joseph. My, oh my. Oh, yes.
No.
Oh, I like where this is going. Yes. I told you Lady Luck was back on the side of Duke Hudson. How the tables have turned.
What were you saying about Lady Luck?
They've turned indeed. There's a cave-in. Oh, Grimes is not going to allow Duke Hudson to ruin this tonight.
We need some security down here.
Cameron Grimes, victorious tonight. Into the victor go the spoils.
No.
Yes!
No!
I love it! It's an improvement!
Oh, Grimes should leave it just like that.
Whatever. He looks ridiculous.
Fantastic!
He's giving him a skullet. Lady Luck is a complete bitch.
I think you mean karma.
I mean, let's
just revel
It
in
was
this.
so nice, I want to see it twice.
Oh, come on, Barrett. You gotta admit, I mean, it's a great style, trendsetter. I know you'll be in line next to get the same look. Looks fantastic.
And then you can have Grimes cut your hair, give you a little shave this Tuesday.
The hottest man in NXT is no more.
It is I, Cassios, God of Cashback.
Greetings, fierce mortal.
I'm Charlotte Flair.
Yes, greetings, fierce mortal, Charlotte Flair. I almost mistook you for one of my godly cousins.
All that glitters is gold, Cassios. Thanks to my official WWE Credit One Visa card from Credit One Bank.
Yes!
Get this exclusive card, discounts on WWE gear, and so much more. You could even win a trip to a WWE event to see me in the ring.
Oh, it's like a battle royale. How shalt thou prepare?
Well, you'll need to keep your energy up.
Molten gold drizzled upon crispy crunchies. Oh.
And you'll want to look the part.
Yes, for these cashback rewards, they're fit for a
Queen?
Yes. Your battle cry must be most formidable.
Woo! Visit UltimateWWEcard.com for more details.
Yeah, where are we going? I'm absolutely starving. You're hungry, yeah? Yeah. Good. That's exactly why we're here. Come with me. All right. Get your eyes on this. This is you. Yep. You're on the ground. All right. Hurt your knee. Okay. Along comes a stooge. He sees you. He's a good guy. He wants to help. Here's me waiting in the wings while you distract him. I take the phone, access the cash app, access the food, they deliver the food, we get all the scram, we win, and we just munch it all down all day long. Okay. How's about that? How's about that? All right, yeah. You understand now? If you can distract a complete stranger, you can distract a referee. Cheers. Oh, it's a good day. It's a good day.
When Kaden and I aren't kicking ass in the ring, we hit up as many music festivals as we can.
Last week was EDC Orlando. For us, it was time to let loose and rage out. There's such an amazing feeling in these festivals. It's a unique vibe. Listening to the music, getting lost in the lights, and letting out your inner crazy. I mean, it's something you can't even explain.
It's all about having fun, being yourself, and for a few minutes or a few hours of your life, forgetting your problems and getting lost in the experience.
We've had a lot of downtime to think, and we've realized we want to share this experience with the audience.
Seeing a community of hundreds of thousands of people coming together to be themselves and have a good time, that's what we want to bring to NXT. We are the life of the party, and we're bringing the party to everyone.
Those who talk the most usually have nothing to say. But NXT is different. A locker room full of superstars who back it up. I'm not gonna talk about what I'm gonna do. I'll just show you. I'm not what NXT wants. I'm what NXT needs. I'm Draco Anthony, and my actions speak louder than your words.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and old friends on?
Wow, what a way to kick off 2022 here at NXT with New Year's Evil. This year has been an absolute blast. I promise you, 2022 is going to top it. I cannot wait.
Oh, how about just a few days before on New Year's Day? It's day one. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship live from Atlanta, streaming exclusively right here on Peacock. I mean, but we can talk about 2022 in a few days. We got to talk about tonight because Team 2.0 is getting ready to enter the War Games match. And Braun Breaker, Tony D'Angelo, I mean, they are putting in final preparations for a match none have ever stepped foot in. And how are they going to prepare for our main event tonight? But we got to continue on with tonight. And coming up in just a matter of moments, Roderick Strong wanted a big money match, which he certainly has gotten in the form of a very outspoken challenger.
The world should be a happy place, but in reality, we live in a world where the goal is to drag people down.
And the NXT Cruiserweight Championship is an example of exclusivity and weight shaming. I am Joe Gacy, and I'm here to usher in the world to a new normal.
You the best up now, Joe. Diamond Mine is the most dominant group of athletes in sports entertainment.
And Roderick Strong is the centerpiece of Diamond Mine, and he is your NXT Cruiserweight Champion.
Respect is not something I have for Roderick Strong.
I don't care about any weight limit. My next money match is standing right here. Let's make this happen so I can embarrass this dork.
I look forward to resolving this issue as one.
At War Games, Roderick Strong is gonna shut you up for good.
We are gonna walk in the same way we're gonna walk out, and that is with the Cruiserweight Championship.
Strong has created a toxic Cruiserweight division, and I will bring wonderful inclusivity.
At NXT War Games, I give you an all-inclusive beatdown.
All right, now this is a big moment for Joe Gacy. And look, the weight limit of 205 pounds, Beth, it's been lifted here tonight.
Well, and according to Gacy, if he wins tonight, that weight limit restriction will be lifted forever. And this is all a part of his agenda he continues to push, pretending that he's doing something altruistic in the world, but we all know what his intentions are.
Gacy not coming alone tonight here at NXT War Games, which is presented by the official WWE Credit One Visa card. Get closer to the action with benefits like superstar meet and greets, sweepstakes, early ticket sales for select events, and more. Visit WWE UltimateCard.com to see if you pre-qualify now. Terms apply.
Listen, Pat, you are such a hater when it comes to Joe Gacy. I don't understand it at all. I don't always agree with Gacy, but he's had me thinking on this one because the Cruiserweight title was one title I was never eligible for through no fault of my own. Why? I ask, should bigger guys like me, like Gacy, like even Harlan, why should we be prejudiced against? I like the chance.
Prejudice.
If Gacy wins tonight, they will have to rename that championship the Inclusive Weight Championship, and I, for one, think that is a positive move.
Why does everything come back to you? You always make it about yourself.
I'm sorry he was so poorly done for, Barry. No opportunities.
I will tell you, sports entertainment is tough as a bigger superstar.
Oh, cry me a river.
Well, there you see Diamond Mine fully focused on the action here tonight. There's no doubt this is a tough test for Roderick Strong. I mean, was it wise of Bivens to ransom this match?
Listen, Bivens has made it very, very clear he's about one thing and one thing only. He is about money matches. To me, this has become a huge money match because it's got the world talking and the world watching, the world questioning their own beliefs. And in fairness to him, his man, the champ, Roderick
The
Strong.
following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Introducing the challenger, Joe Gacy. His opponent, representing Diamond Mine, he is the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, Roderick Strong.
In fairness, as I was saying, his man, the champ, Roderick Strong, was the one who demanded the matchup last week, so Bivens really didn't have too much choice, but I think he likes the smell of money, and money is coming from this matchup.
Well, speaking of that, I wonder if Joe Gacy goes to UltimateWWEcard.com to pre-qualify, and if he doesn't get the answer back fast enough, he seems like someone that would complain about that.
Joe Gacy complains about just about everything, but he frames it in such a way that he makes himself into the good guy.
And no doubt, he talked his way into this golden opportunity.
Oh, I've said it in the past, whether it's Trick Williams or Joe Gacy, the opportunity to talk himself into an opportunity is on full display continuously. Gacy's figured out how to push everyone's buttons, get everyone triggered, pissed off, and then swoop it and take what he wants.
And to that point right now, he's trying to peacefully talk down Roderick Strong. I mean, it's a championship match.
I don't buy any.
Well, listen, there's nothing wrong with starting this in a sporting way. Mentioned shake hands before the match and hopefully after the match. I think Gacy is about that. But here's the point. Maybe you don't have to shake hands. Maybe you can hug to start. This is throwing Roderick Strong off now. He's never come across anything like a hug to start a match, but certainly a slap to the face will change things in a hurry.
But that's Gacy showing his cards. He was trying to bait Roderick Strong in with a hug. Not everybody's comfortable with a hug.
Nasty backbreaker.
Listen, you were talking about Gacy talking his way into this matchup. I've been upset with some of the 2.0 stars recently getting title opportunities that, in my opinion, they hadn't earned. Guys like Trick Williams, guys like Briggs and Jensen in the tag team division. Here's why it's different for Gacy. He was being prejudiced against. It sizes him. And talking is how you bring about change. There's nothing wrong with using words rather than fists.
Yeah, well,
Sizism isn't a word.
Yeah, well, Roderick Strong right now was looking for a hug in his own right, and now Gacy, just running over the Cruiserweight Championship. But can you imagine if Gacy were to win the Cruiserweight title, what sort of platform he would now have if he was victorious tonight?
Also, listen, Gacy lives and dies by the size of his pulpit. Win tonight, the pulpit of Joe Gacy and his belief grows. The megaphone gets louder. Champions in NXT, they get invited on ESPN. They get invited to Sam Roberts' Sirius FM show. Magazine covers, the works, as we take another look at this shot from behind from Joe Gacy, inching closer to the Inclusive Weight Championship. Magazine covers the works, award shows, win tonight, and the people who will hear the message of inclusivity will grow.
Yeah, well, right now, Roderick Strong is sending his own message to Gacy, and Beth, I'm sure Gacy wants to get this match over with quickly.
I mean, it's to his advantage. Gacy's got to end this sooner rather than later because his chances will continue to diminish the longer this goes. We all know Roderick Strong has a gas tank like no other in NXT.
Yeah, the self-described cardio monster is Roderick Strong, who, of course, won the Cruiserweight Championship back in September, defending it here tonight against Gacy. And you gotta wonder, Wade, Roderick Strong had to spend some extra time in the Diamond Mine.
He absolutely did, training hard for this particular matchup. Now listen, I spoke to Malcolm Bivens earlier. Hatchiman has tweaked the training to focus on the fact that it's a larger opponent. Of course, Roderick Strong throughout his career has taken on many larger superstars, so this isn't entirely new, although in the last few months he's focused exclusively on that 205 weight limit. So things are a little different. He's been sparring with the Creed brothers to get used to the additional weight. And nothing has left a chance in Dynamite.
Right now it is Gacy who is throwing some of that weight around, showcasing his own strength. Strong able to counter, and Gacy quickly shutting the door and following up with a backbreaker in his own right.
I will say this, we talk about the size of Gacy, the man can move like a cruiserweight. So certainly from that regard, he belongs in this division.
Gacy into the cover to win the title, and Strong quickly out at 1. And look, Gacy's made no secret about it, whether it's been on the mic or on social media. He's looking to redefine what it means to be the Cruiserweight champion here in NXT. Off the suplex, float over into the cover. Well, again, Roderick Strong was able to kick out at 1.
You mentioned looking to redefine the Cruiserweight division. He's looking to redefine the entire world of sports entertainment, starting with NXT. It should be a more positive environment. The constant toxicity that sometimes pervades around here can be changed.
Making things, I mean, he called us snowflakes. He called you a snowflake.
He never called me a snowflake.
He did. He called everybody a snowflake.
Well, to that point, though, Beth, he started tonight on social media by saying, quote, "We change the world." I mean, who's he talking about? Who's we?
Regardless of what you or I or Beth Phoenix thinks of the message of Gacy, there are legions who believe every word he says tonight, and tonight's ultimate victory is for them.
All right, now tonight might be coming to a quick end as Roderick Strong, the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, all the way to the tippy top. Can Strong hoist up Gacy, going for the ride, superplex. But so much has been taken out of Roderick Strong in this match thus far. Crawls into the cover to Strong to retain his title, and Gacy this time kicking out at 2.
And take a look at this, Roderick Strong making the weight difference irrelevant in this situation, able to hoist Gacy over. But unfortunately took just a little bit too much time to make the cover.
I mean, you got to give credit when credit is due to Roderick Strong, Beth. He was open to lifting the weight restriction for this championship showdown.
I mean, it's because Strong's willing to take on all comers. There's no superstar in NXT that trains harder, is more polished or conditioned than Roderick Strong.
Look at Strong. Oh! Strength on display. What a gut buster. Might not have gotten all of it, certainly got enough of it, and then following up on Joe Gacy. And Strong now with Diamond Mine cheering him on. Crawls into another cover. Another hook of the leg, and still not able to put away Gacy as Bivens starting to show a little frustration.
Yeah, I don't think Joe Gacy was anticipating the level of power that Roderick Strong can produce. Do not underestimate that Cruiserweight division. Some real strong characters, strong performers in there, technicians too, as we see this nice Boston crowd.
The stronghold locked in. Gacy almost with a smile on his face.
Demented grin.
Bivens barking at Gacy. Gacy reaching so close, but look at Roderick Strong, the veteran, pulling out Gacy one more time. Gacy trying anything he can to get away from Strong. Oh, that's certainly one way to break the submission. And speaking of submission, Gacy looking for a crossface. Can Gacy make the Cruiserweight champion submit?
Technical skills of his own. Roderick Strong wisely slithering his way out of there, making the rope, and the lads and the Creed brothers yelling to this referee, break that hold immediately.
What's the difference in the grappling skill? Gacy had it.
Oh, and Strong up and over right at the feet of Diamond Mine.
But Joe Gacy would be well advised to stay clear of that part of the ring. He's not taking my advice, though.
Gacy laying it all on the line, and to his credit, Beth, Gacy wants to spread his message. He's willing to do whatever it takes to become Cruiserweight champion. Gacy bringing the peace and sidesteps Strong. And now it's Gacy looking to hoist up and plant the Cruiserweight champion. Oh, Gacy got all of it. Cover, count, do we have a new champion? And Strong kicks out.
Late kick out was no match in that we almost had a new champion, but that Harland, there is something I really don't like about him. Nice just when you think he's out. Roderick Strong bouncing back.
The jumping knee that has knocked out so many. And Strong trying to follow up, hoisting up Gacy down across the back. Strong into the cover to retain his title. And Roderick Strong silences Joe Gacy.
Here's the winner, and still the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, Roderick Strong.
We can take nothing away from what Joe Gacy brought tonight. But in the end, Strong was able to stay one step ahead of Gacy.
Roderick Strong, just a champion through and through. If you want to get to the very top in NXT, you've got to get to the caliber of a Roderick Strong. As we take another look at Harland getting involved here with Ivy Nile, who almost got more than she bargained for. Thankfully, Gacy talking about it.
A terrifying moment. We were all holding our breath there. But back into the ring here, Roderick Strong getting the best of Joe Gacy. Again, the backbreaker across the spine. And once again, Roderick Strong showing why diamonds are made under pressure.
And look, when it comes to Joe Gacy, he might have gotten caught up trying to spread his own message, but Strong walks in the same way he walks out Cruiserweight champion.
Ikemen Jiro has a big personality. Big personality means big appetite. And with this up, they bring the food to me. Thank you. And tonight's weekend menu, 3 gallons of ice cream, 2 footlongs, 1 gallon of super sloppy, and 2 super rice. It's dinner time. Round 2. Oh, excuse me. I'll be right back. Maybe next time. Just 1 super slice.
Empty boxes?
Sorry, kids. It's not Santa's fault. It was the supply chain. But there is one box you didn't open. That small one right there. The only gift that guarantees a Merry Christmas. Live from AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. WrestleMania 38, the most stupendous 2-night WrestleMania in history.
Tomorrow night,
Awesome!
the A-lister sits down with the rated R superstar Edge on a special edition of Miz TV. Plus, 2 must-see matches. Big-time Bex defends her Raw Women's Championship against Liv Morgan.
I got a death grip on this title. Big time Bex is really just a big time.
And WWE Champion Big E battles the relentless Kevin Owens in a rare and destructive steel cage match.
Locked inside that inhumane steel cage.
Raw live tomorrow night, 8/7 Central, only on USA.
Kyle, a tough loss to Imperium, but what happened after the match?
You know what happened after the match? You know I've been in this business a long time, right? Von Wagner, if you think I didn't smell that turn coming from a mile away, you must be stupider than you look! Now, this is the first time in 5 years that Kyle O'Reilly hasn't been in the War Games match, and I'm hungry for some steel. So, Vaughn, you want to finish what you started? Well, on Tuesday, we leave the cage up because I want you inside the steel.
What a challenge that is on Tuesday, but when you think of cages, you think of War Games, and it is main event time here tonight. And it's the new school versus the old school. Will Team 2.0 rise to the occasion, or will Team Black and Gold's experience be too much for 2.0 to overcome?
You looking at the future of WWE.
The game has changed. You want to overlook Team 2.0? That's fine. You bet your ass we're going to bring it.
I show up, the situation gets resolved.
When I shoot, I don't miss.
Because that's what a good sports entertainer does in 2021. We are ready to take over NXT. That spells disaster for you.
Let's make it NXT 2.0 versus NXT Black and Gold.
They wouldn't have an NXT to work for. It was over our blood, our sweat, our sacrifices, and that's true.
Let's call it what it is. They're looking to replace us. War is the name of the game, and whose game is it? It's the Black and Gold's game.
You're looking at veterans of War Games. These lads have no idea what they're in for.
You NXT 2.0 kids, you live in a unicorn fantasy land. The Bron Breakkers, the Carmelo Hayes, all them, yeah, they get handed everything. They have the advantage, and they've had the advantage since they stepped foot in this building. I earned the advantage for Team 2.0, but Ciampa, I still got my eyes on you and the NXT Championship.
This War Games, more so than ever before, is personal.
You've done it all here in NXT.
They paved the road that we're walking on the War Games right now.
Big moments, championships, action figures, video games.
But that road has got potholes.
They've had it all. And we want it all.
Team Black and Gold. We've all accomplished so much, but people keep moving the goalposts. There's a fresher, more exciting, more handsome version of you on the scene.
We're gonna find out what NXT 2.0 is all about.
War Games is a stepping stone. There's no rules. There's no code of conduct. It is war.
The following is the men's War Games match. The rules of the match are as follows. 2 teams will be contained in separate cages, with 1 member from each team starting the match. After 5 minutes, a member from Team 2.0 will be released to enter the match. After a 3-minute period, alternating members from each team will enter the match until all competitors are inside the cage. Once all competitors have entered, War Games officially begins. The only way to win the match is by pinfall or submission. And now, let the War Games begin! Introducing first, Bron Breakker!
Everyone on their feet for our main event here tonight. And you see the war paint on the face of Breakker. And as his teammates make their way out, the question tonight, guys, is it a bigger night for 2.0 or is it a bigger night for Team Black and Gold?
Next, Grayson Waller.
For me, the question you just asked, who's got the bigger knife, black and gold or 2.0? By far, it's black and gold. All of the pressure tonight is on the veterans. Is tonight the changing of the guard in NXT?
Tony D'Angelo.
Tonight is a battle for the soul of NXT. The stakes could not be higher. And as far as I'm concerned, 2.0 have everything to win. Black and gold have everything to lose tonight.
Accompanied by Trick Williams, he is the NXT North American Champion, Carmelo Hayes.
You know, it's no secret black and gold is just etched on my heart. To me, this is going to be their night. You can't substitute for experience in a match like this. I love everything NXT 2.0's bring to the table, but it's going to be all black and gold.
And of course, Team 2.0 has the War Games advantage, and it appears the North American champion, Carmelo Hayes, is going to start things off for Team 2.0 in the men's War Games match.
One of the most confident superstars I have ever encountered, regardless of the experience. And to be fair to Carmelo, he has backed up every word he's ever uttered since arriving in NXT. He's going to be looking to do that again tonight in the War Games match.
Trick Williams on the outside, and you just saw Carmelo Hayes say, "When I shoot, I don't miss," which is, to your point, Wade Barrett, the motto of the North American champion.
Well, he ain't lying, is he?
And the opponents, first, the NXT Champion, Tommaso Ciampa.
Team Black and Gold believes 2.0 has been handed everything as the NXT champion, the God of War himself, Tommaso Ciampa, ready to lead his troops into battle. But Beth, this Team Black and Gold face an uphill battle tonight.
Well, first, it'll be glorious to see a DIY reunion here tonight, but you know, you gotta look at this. 2.0 has the War Games advantage. We saw earlier in the night, Toxic Attraction fell victim to that advantage. They were swimming upstream the entire match, and that could be the case here tonight. Black and Gold has a hell of a fight ahead of them.
Next, the Cruiserweight, Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne certainly has been victorious in the past in this sort of match, on this stage. But as Team 2.0 has said, it's not about the past, it's about the future. Dunne is not taking his eyes off of Carmelo Hayes.
Easy to forget that this man still has a long future ahead of him, the Bruiserweight. So young, he's got at least 15 years ahead of his career, even though he's already turned a veteran.
Knight said the advantage that 2.0 has is nothing more than an illusion. LA Knight continuing to talk trash all the way to the shark cage.
They also called 2.0 a bunch of scared little boys. If that doesn't get under their skin, I don't know what would.
I've noticed that you two have started to warm to LA Knight just 12 months after I've been telling you what a great he truly is.
Go that far.
Do you hear it? The clock has been turned back for Johnny Gargano, the heart, the soul of this brand since he arrived. He said last week if it weren't for Team Black and Gold, Team 2.0 wouldn't even have a ring to stand in.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. I mean, I could write a novel about the impact Gargano and his wife Candice LeRae have had on NXT. They are part mission of building this brand, carrying NXT forward to our launch on network television, main evented more big matches than anyone. 2.0 owes some respect to Johnny and the road he paved for them to be seen by the WWE Universe.
And no doubt the Rebel Heart will kick things off for Team Black and Gold. But for everything Johnny Gargano has done, for everything Johnny has experienced, he has never stepped foot into War Games.
Yeah, it's rather ironic, really, because all Black and Gold have talked about in the build-up to this match is the comparative difference in experience between the two teams. Well, Gargano is on the exact same experience level when it comes to War Games as 2.0, as these rookies, as they've been dismissively termed. Yes, he's used to the spotlight, the pressure, the main event, but let's see how he holds up now. He's finally, after years here in NXT, getting to taste War Games.
Both teams are locked in. Both will have to wait patiently. And when the first 5 minutes is up, again, Team 2.0 will have the advantage. And take a look, trending number 1, NXT War Games, and it's all about the men's War Games matches. Johnny Gargano getting his hands on the North American champion. And look, Johnny Gargano is going to have 5 minutes right now to physically, mentally dissect and pick apart the North American champion. The question is, what happens after that 5 minutes?
Well, here is the fascinating part of War Games. Take your advantage while you can right now, one-on-one. Who can get the upper hand? It has to be Gargano in my book if they're going to have any chance in this matchup.
Self-proclaimed leader of the new school, that being Carmelo Hayes. Look, Beth, what he's going to have to do tonight in this matchup, he's going to have to go the distance.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I mean, Carmelo don't miss, but tonight Melo finds himself in a position where he might have to dodge a lot of bullets. It's a marathon for him, and this smooth talker, and I'm curious to see how he navigates this minefield.
And there we see Trick Williams, of course, on the outside of the cage, shouting what we would assume to be words of encouragement to Carmelo Hayes as that clock continues to tick. And Johnny Gargano maybe has just seen the clock. That's now just over 3.5 minutes because he realizes what's going to happen. It's going to be 2-on-1. There's going to be an advantage for Team 2.0. Gargano's going to have to fight an uphill battle, Beth, to your point earlier in this match.
100%, but even right out of the blocks, you can see Gargano calm, cool, and collected. Carmelo Hayes pacing back and forth with a nervous energy. Gargano's been in these high-pressure situations many times.
And you hear the 50-50 split in the NXT universe as Carmelo Hayes with the upper hand, but now Gargano trying to turn things around rather quickly.
Both men burning off a ton of energy in the early goings of this one, not looking to pace themselves, which perhaps is a surprise from my perspective, but what cardio machines they both happen to be.
Talk about the calm, the coolness. You can see the 6 superstars that are awaiting to enter the men's War Games match. Pacing, watching, soaking in the carnage thus far between Gargano and Hayes. And look, Johnny Gargano, he doesn't forget. He just recently was in a triple threat match with Carmelo Hayes.
Absolutely, Gargano knows what Carmelo Hayes is capable of. And I would imagine Melo's done his homework here tonight.
Well, Melo didn't see that coming. Certainly didn't do his homework, but Gargano did, and now Gargano just waiting for Hayes to rise to his feet. Oh, no.
Just suckered in by Carmelo there. Just a veteran move from Melo. Do not underestimate that man. Do not underestimate the team of 2.0.
There's the leader of the new school looking for one final beat. Gargano had it countered, able to land back on his feet. Both these superstars one step ahead. Slingshot spear though from Gargano. And there you see Team Black and Gold. They're fired up, but Gargano's got to realize that in 90 seconds, one member of Team 2.0 is going to make his way into the ring, and this sort of advantage that Gargano has, is going to be wiped away.
A fluid movement, perfect action from Johnny Gargano, NXT Universe. His eyes are glued on the action here in War Games.
Oh. Hayes a little extra off the top. And looking at it the other way, Carmelo Hayes has to realize right now, in 90 seconds, he's getting a partner. He's getting a friend.
All he needs to do is buy himself some time. He's got a position of superiority against Gargano now. If he maintains that for the next minute or so, things are looking really good for 2.0.
Well, this is that early stage of the match where you certainly can't win it, but you can lose the matchup if Gargano suffers too much damage in this next 3 minutes.
Absolutely, it's all about survivability at this point. I've got to say, I like the fact that this self-proclaimed leader of the new school has taken on this leadership role, anchoring his team from the start.
Face first goes Hayes, and guys, I'm looking up the War Games cage is absolutely shaking as Gargano looking out and realizing he's got 30 seconds.
Human skin versus steel. There's only ever one winner. I've been there before. It is the worst sensation.
Look at Gargano go!
Experienced, and Carmelo is getting to experience it 50 times in a row.
I bet this is smart for Johnny.
This is trouble. If he can get Carmelo Hayes down when the next entrant comes in, Johnny's got a chance.
Who is about to join War Games? It is Grayson Waller. And Waller is tired of those questioning 2.0's inexperience heading into this matchup.
Well, I've got to hand it to Grayson Waller. I know exactly how he feels. I've been there before with Nexus. I was entering as a turned rookie. Didn't have the experience, didn't have the respect of veterans. Well, that is kind of the position that this man, Grayson Waller, finds himself in right now.
Well, Waller has drawn the battle lines in the center of the ring, baited Gargano in.
And all Waller's done is berate everybody, point the finger, act like an entitled little brat.
Whoa!
If he wants people to stop questioning them, they need to show us why they're undeniable.
Well, Waller certainly showcasing his abilities at this juncture as Waller fresh entering the matchup.
And I personally take issue with the negative slant that is getting put on the superstars of NXT 2.0. To me, they are simply looking to earn the respect of the NXT universe and the black and gold veterans who they are up against tonight.
Let's remind Mr. Barrett that there's been some questionable antics towards his boy, LA Knight, from Waller over the last recent months.
I can't believe that you're defending them after that.
Whoa, don't try and get in between me and LA Knight. I've made my stance on LA Knight very clear. I think he's one of the top superstars in NXT, deservedly so.
All right, now this is when we talk about the advantage. How quickly things can turn around, because just as Gargano looked to start cooking in this matchup, now 2-on-1.
Well, therein lies the issue of Johnny Gargano himself losing the NXT War Games advantage ladder match last week against Bron Breakker. This is why he's in this position.
Come on. Oh, don't accept imitations from Hayes or Waller. And look at Gargano right now mowing down the competition. And Wade, you brought up the word survival again. As LA Knight's peering into the ring, Johnny has to survive for 60 more seconds until the cavalry will make its way into the what's Trick Williams doing?
Trick Williams undoubtedly up to no good here.
Come on, referee!
It's raining steel, lads. Well, took out his own man there.
That might have been an issue for Trick Williams.
Is Trick trying to enter this too?
Well, wait a minute, it's all illegal, remember, is Gargano with the steel chair. That distraction just allowed Hayes to knock Gargano down and maybe out.
There are welts all over the face of
here we go.
Gargano right now, and it is punishment time from the lads in 2.0.
And even with a 2-on-1 advantage, they still had to resort to that kind of garbage.
Well, we talk about the dangers of War Games. This is right where Johnny Gargano, boom, felt the heel of Grayson Waller, and Gargano is battered, bruised, and busted.
He might have a broken nose at this point. He's got the claret mask all over him, and the lads from NXT 2.0 need to capitalize on that. You have to think Gargano will not be able to breathe properly now.
Well, Johnny's nose, to your point, Wade, absolutely. You mentioned the nose on the face of Johnny Gargano. That is where He caught the heel of Grayson Waller. But let's talk about a nasty individual. How about the baddest man in NXT? Wasting no time. Here comes the battle-tested Bruiserweight.
Not a man I would ever want to get in an argument with. He's done so much at such a young age, competed in War Games before. This man has the experience. Record-breaking NXT UK.
Oh, the elbow!
God! Sickening blows. This man just enjoys dishing out pain.
Hyperextension is his specialty.
Was there ever a man more born for War Games, the chaos and destruction, than the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne?
The X-Plex from Pete Dunne, and all this has done is allowed Gargano, busted nose and all, to regroup himself. But look, as you mentioned, Wade, Pete Dunne, he loves to inflict pain.
You will never see a smile break across the face of Pete Dunne.
You talk about pain. Oh, fingers bending back in the cage.
That is disgusting.
The digits aren't supposed to bend that way.
Attacking the small joints of his opponent is an absolute specialty for the Bruiser.
Well, Grayson Waller might not be able to tweet, Instagram, or TikTok after that. Good now.
Wouldn't be a bad thing.
Oh, Carmelo Hayes might have just woken up Pete Dunne. Certain rivalry brewing between these two. Oh, nice snap suplex off the assist from Gargano. And Johnny back to his feet. And Team Black and Gold, they are rocking right now.
A remarkable recovery from Johnny Gargano, a man with 100% bounce back ability.
And take a look, the Gargano escape, the crossface, and when you talk about pain, you're taking a look. Take a look at the faces of Hayes. Take a look at the face of Waller. Seeing the faces of those waiting to enter in to this structure, but you take a look at the face of Johnny Gargano. We talk about the dangers of this War Games matchup, and again, the fingers being bent back by Grayson Waller.
Next guy out from Team 2.0 has to turn the tide here. This is going horribly wrong for these youngsters.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Brilliant strategy to keep Mello down, keep Grayson Waller down, so that when the advantage swings back in their team's favor.
Sudden burst of athleticism, a sudden burst of explosivity from that young man, Carmelo Hayes, is all it took to turn the tables until that.
Hayes got caught, Waller rolling through with that stunner.
Critical moment with 13 seconds to go.
Look at Waller moving around and laying out Team Black and Gold.
This is huge, guys.
This is not only huge, this is playing right in to what Team 2.0 wants. With another fresh superstar making his way to the ring, that, of course, Tony D'Angelo, who certainly can use some of his family traits in this sort of environment.
Oh, you think so? Well, the kendo sticks are in there. Trick Williams paying dividends on the outside. What on earth is this now? The toys are coming out to play, but you're right. Let me preface this by saying the D'Angelo family are wonderful people. I would never cross them. However, they know methods that allow them to make people talk, make people do what they want them to do. They know how to turn the thumb screws, so to speak, and that could be very valuable for Tony D'Angelo and Team 2.0 tonight.
It's something to think about when we talk about the inexperience of Team 2.0. I mean, Beth, they have come into tonight with a game plan. Take a look at what they're doing right now. They are taking apart, and Carmelo Hayes physically dissecting Johnny Gargano.
They're all driven by the same motivation, and that is to grab those top spots and to rule NXT. That's simply what they are motivated in this match.
We've essentially got a fifth man on the outside in Trick Williams, and all these toys are going to cause tremendous damage once they're connecting with the opponents of Team 2.0, and Trick Williams isn't stopping.
What the heck is Trick Williams trying to pull out now? Talk about the ultimate X Factor. Dexter Lumis.
Lumis is the equalizer here.
How long's he been under there?
Nice.
Big thumbs up. Oh, well, it'll be thumbs down at this moment. for Gargano, but at least Loomis. Is that a chain?
Is Indy Hartwell under the ring too?
Take a look at the chaos here in the men's War Games matchup. And what is D'Angelo doing?
There is a plan afoot. I don't know, but I like it. It's devious, but it might just work.
D'Angelo just padlocked the cage door shut.
Well, right now it's 3-on-2, and it might stay 3-on-2 for a significant period of time.
There we see under 50 seconds until either LA Knight or Tommaso Ciampa will enter this matchup, but the cage door's been padlocked shut. D'Angelo brought in everything, almost including Dexter Loomis.
Dunn and Gargano just getting completely mugged right now.
They're getting turned into mincemeat by 2.0. The plan is working out brilliantly.
And right now, Dunn and Gargano are literally fighting for their lives, and nothing that's going for Dunn or Gargano. There's whatever the question they have, there's an answer from Team 2.0.
You almost can't fail from this position if you're Team 2.0. You have the numbers advantage. You have a bunch of artillery surrounding you in the ring, and the cage door is locked.
Well, it's the megastar himself, LA Knight, but
Knight's got to get
what's
creative
going through
right
Knight's
here.
mind right now?
I mean, he can't get in. Not that way, anyways.
Official can't do anything to help LA Knight. And Knight is having to watch his teammates tonight get brutalized right in front of him.
And with every passing second, Team Black and Gold swimming farther and farther upstream.
And LA Knight now.
The rock climbing for you.
LA Knight will not be locked out.
Let's face it, he didn't have much choice here. Scrambling to the top of the War Game structure. He's in one way or another. Took a lot longer than it ever should.
Well, look, those extra seconds so crucial in this matchup because every second counts. And for LA Knight, it's pent-up frustration, it's anger, it's all oozing out of his pores. In fact, Knight is looking to propel himself to a whole new stratosphere.
I'm not the biggest fan of LA Knight in the past, but in this case, I know he's a valuable member of Black and Gold. I don't like his attitude, but he's battle-tested, bona fide superstar.
Well, no love lost between these two superstars. Go all the way back to Halloween Havoc. Look for LA Knight. Beth again, he was offended by comments made by every member of Team 2.0.
I gotta be honest, so was I. I mean, it's one thing to want the top spot and chase it, but it's another to just disparage and put down those who have come before you. It does nothing to tell me you're insecure.
LA Knight feeding off the energy, and it might be fueling that huge swing, followed up by another.
This audience on their feet for LA Knight, a sight I thought I would never see. This is like Bizarro World.
And Knight was done with the kendo stick. He wanted the trash can to take the trash out, so to speak.
Now we're gonna make some beautiful music. I like that tune.
This is the definition of War Games. And Dunn and Gargano now on the same page.
Pendulum swinging back in favor of the Black and Gold boys.
This is so personal between the old school and the new school. And right now it's Team Black and Gold who has over 60 seconds to do whatever the hell they want to the opposition.
Get them down, keep them down. Pretty soon that numbers advantage is back in favor of 2.0.
Look at that, finally, officials with bolt cutters trying to break open what Tony D'Angelo has done. But speaking of breaking, Dunn trying to break the fingers of Grayson Waller.
Oh no.
With a little extra help from a trash can.
Grayson Waller screaming in agony there. No respite whatsoever.
Make it difficult to grab any weapon in this matchup with broken fingers.
Oh, can you imagine the end of that? Oh! Just the cane across the knuckles and now into the ear.
They have upset the wrong man in the Bruiserweight, Pete Dunne.
NXT Universe showing their love for Team Black and Gold.
I bet you ain't something to say.
Only one man left. And Braun Breaker said no rules, no code of conduct in War Games.
Let me do it. Let me do it.
As Breaker is going to break his way into the War Games cage one way or another.
Wow.
This
Easier
chain
said than done.
proving to be a little tricky customer here.
Well, let's talk about Braun Breaker's Team Black and Gold waiting patiently. We talk about a couple extra seconds. Are they going to pay off at Breaker now? Becoming a taking out Doug, knocking down Gargano, who's been in the match since the very beginning, and now the megastar is on the wrong end of Braun Breaker.
A lot has been made of the inexperience of Team 2.0 in his short tenure here in NXT.
And let's be honest about Braun Breaker, Beth. He stepped up this past Tuesday. He earned his team the advantage.
And Breaker continues to shine every opportunity he's given. I've said it before, you can argue he's made the biggest splash in the shortest amount of time of all the 2.0 superstars.
Braun Breaker has changed the game in just 60 seconds upon his entrance in this matchup. Finally, the Bruiserweight managing to get a slight bit of momentum.
And we knew the NXT Universe would be behind Team Black and Gold, but Braun Breaker just shaking off Pete Dunne.
Those punches just bouncing off the jaw of Braun Breaker, perhaps weakened by the abuse that the Bruiserweight has taken so far, but Cole, Braun Breaker, inexperienced at your peril.
And look, Breaker's not wavered in his claim. He wants one thing as he stares up at Tommaso Ciampa. That's the NXT title.
Well, he proclaimed that he wants to win that NXT Championship or he will die trying, as we take another look at this effortless explosivity from Braun Breaker against the Bruiserweight, followed by raw power, taking out the entire Black and Gold team. You have to think, if his team is victorious tonight, i.e. Braun, it only strengthens his claim to a rematch down the line with Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship. Speaking of Ciampa pacing his cage, it ain't long till he's involved.
And again, the NXT Universe trying to will on Team Black and Gold as Braun Breaker, as Wade put it, Beth, changed the game as soon as he entered into War Games.
Take nothing away from Braun Breaker, he's incredible, but there's still a numbers advantage going on right here. Tommaso Ciampa is currently locked up in a cage, and I have a feeling things are going to shift very quickly the second he leaves.
Yeah, and you got to think for Ciampa, this is the longest 60 seconds of his life. As those 60 seconds have dwindled away, the evil thoughts that have been in Ciampa's mind. Comes the NXT champion who said tonight is personal. The face, the conscience of the Black and Gold team. The pressure now on the shoulders of Ciampa.
Is the god of NXT, the last person to enter the most precious man. He has been disadvantaged from the beginning, or his team has. Needs to take himself to an entirely new level tonight if his team has any chance of taking down these beasts from NXT 2.0.
Tommaso Ciampa, a ferocity unlike any other superstar, experienced in War Games.
The freshest man in the matchup, and it shows.
And Mr. NXT, center of the ring, the #1 tread in the world, NXT War Games, and the men's War Games match officially has begun.
Wow, finally, honors are even in this one. 4-on-4, but you wouldn't know from looking at the ring. Carnage, bedlam everywhere you look, but now the man who started this thing has got the upper hand, Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, we questioned if Hayes, Beth, at the start of this would be able to go bell to bell, and Carmelo Hayes again has answered all the questions. Hayes calling on it. Oh! Gargano saving Ciampa. And we all know that Ciampa certainly knows how to use a crutch.
The Old Faithful, it's back.
It's back, and this is a familiar pairing. You can hear the NXT Universe chanting DIY.
A little taste of the old school for these young boys.
Certainly is, and
they've been to war beside each other, against each other.
And there's some classic DIY.
How on earth is Gargano moving so well after the beating he just taken? Oh, I spoke too soon.
Well, that's Braun Breaker, and that's just the strength of Breaker to be able to turn the complexion of anything on a dime. You are taking a look at the men's War Games matchup, and boom! That's just Braun Breaker doing Braun Breaker things.
One-handed, taking a flying Johnny Gargano out of the air, and now Team 2.0 finally get a second win, taking control of this matchup.
Ooh. And oh! Lawn darted was Pete Dunne. And now you're taking a look at Team 2.0, and Wade, you keep talking about backing things up. Team 2.0 wants everything that Team Black and Gold has, and it appears at this moment they're going to take it from Team Black and Gold.
Let's face it, it is there for the taking. We talked about earlier, could this be a change in the landscape? It is a battle for the soul of NXT, and that soul right now seems to be heading the way of Team 2.0. This is a new door.
And there's no doubt some side with Team 2.0, but for the most part, D'Angelo and Grayson Waller, they're feeling the cheers of the NXT Universe. A smile on Pete Dunne's face. With Team 2.0 surrounding Team Black and Gold. Black and Gold says, bring it! The fight is on!
There's life in the old dogs. Yeah, we got a hockey war in there.
Whoa! 2.0 wanted to feel the wrath of Team Black and Gold. Team Black and Gold bet they are bringing it.
2.0 has done nothing but provoke Black and Gold. I'm not sure it was a smart idea to give him that time to recover, because now who's standing?
Line him up, and Team Black and Gold knocking him down. The fire, the passion is coming out of the bodies of Team Black and Gold, who have built this place since day one, have been the pillars, the foundation, like Ciampa, like Gargano, like Dunne.
And now 2.0 getting a mud hole stomped in their souls, and this place coming unglued.
And LA Knight's got to be hearing every negative comment made by 2.0 ringing in the back of his mind. And all of a sudden, now it's the old school that's maybe going to show the new school a old school way, wink, wink, of doing things.
We're going to beat some respect in the 2.0, that's for sure. Mello said they had it all, we want it all. Well, come get it all.
That team, Black and Gold, seem down, but certainly at this juncture, Wade, they are not out in this men's War Games matchup as Dunne, Gargano, a little, innovative offense.
Gargano hurting, holding that knee. How much damage has he so far incurred in this matchup? Tommaso Ciampa, perhaps the freshest man, although he's already been through the wars himself.
Well, Ciampa taking a look back. I think he's got one plan for Grayson Waller. No, D'Angelo!
D'Angelo out of nowhere.
And And again, the dangers of this War Games matchup.
Tony D'Angelo not a man.
Look at Waller.
Twice to cause pain. Grayson Waller. Carnage everywhere. Well, Grayson Waller is a man who likes to go viral as we take another look back at some of the moves that we've experienced so far. Grayson Waller attempting to come off the top rope, but an athletic LA Knight. You want a viral moment? That's all yours, Grayson Waller, perhaps for all the wrong reasons.
The Human Demolition Derby is not done yet.
You take a look around at the NXT universe, standing on their feet, witnessing one hell of a main event as one more time, Gargano and Dunn working together as a team. Oh no. Breakker and D'Angelo working well as a team, and look, they sacrifice. Wait a minute! BFT Knight for the victory!
Tony D with the save, paying dividends for this team. Awareness personified from Tony D. The match about to slip away from 2.0 as we take another look at this Tower of Humanity crumbling down to the mat.
And then LA Knight, right place, right time, boom! Thought he had sealed the deal for his team. D'Angelo wisely, though, able to break up as this match continues. You talk about D'Angelo and Bron Breakker for a moment as you just take a look at the absolute carnage laid out through the two rings. They sacrificed Carmelo Hayes, but maybe it was for the greater good as Bron Breakker back to his feet with LA Knight. And this matchup continues.
Ooh. I can only imagine the amount of searing pain running through the bodies of these men.
And look at LA Knight now, having his way with Bron Breakker. And it was Ciampa who said Team 2.0 would drown in their inexperience. And look at LA Knight, what's on his mind? What's he drawn up? Oh! Looking for BFT, I think, in a different form.
Absolutely, and once again saving the day was Tony D'Angelo. Listen, there comes a point where experience or lack thereof goes out of the window, and you can either do this or you can't. 2.0 have taught the big game, but for me, they have backed it up every inch of the way in this War Games match.
Well, Beth, you have the Hall of Fame credentials at this announce desk. What have you witnessed here as War Games continues? And Bron Breakker, wait a minute. Oh, there's Ciampa saving the day.
I've witnessed spectacular performances by all, but in the end, all that matters is who scores the win here tonight. When it comes to supremacy, who's the top dogs in NXT? We are yet to see who that will be.
Well, Bron Breakker wanted the NXT champion. He wanted to get his hands on Tommaso Ciampa. It's vice versa. Ciampa now with Breakker.
That is a lot of weight to pick up.
And it's a long way down. Right through the can, into the cover. Is it the night for Black and Gold? And again, Breakker. Give credit where credit is due. Breakker able to kick out after this nasty air raid crash from the champion. Tommaso Ciampa thought he had everything under control. But Bron Breakker, still the freshest of all the superstars for his team, had a little bit left in the tank.
I don't know how fresh he is now after crushing that trash can. But again, Tony D'Angelo.
And D'Angelo might have just wiped out LA Knight. A megastar certainly with a mega problem at this juncture of War Games.
Tony D'Angelo once again in complete control of this matchup, stepping it up in a big way just when his team needs it.
Grayson, I mean, what's D'Angelo barking at Waller for?
I don't know how Waller's still standing.
What on earth is on Waller's mind here? He tried going high once, it backfired badly.
Wade, you mentioned wanting to trend, wanting to go viral. Oh, from the top of the War Games cage!
That table exploded on impact.
And D'Angelo into the cover. And done this time.
Just
man
of time.
I mean, you are going to see this over and over and over again.
Look at the amount of hang time on this elbow, the height crashing down across LA Knight's chest.
I mean, Grayson Waller willing to destroy himself to destroy LA Knight. What the? Is that a crowbar? What else does Tony D'Angelo need in a War Games match?
Strikes me as the kind of man who knows how to handle a crowbar, but then when you've got Pete Dunne staring back at you with a kendo stick, it's kind of redundant.
Yeah, Pete Dunne's a man who knows how to handle the kendo stick. They now going right to work, wearing out Carmelo Hayes, and it's important to remember, Hayes started this matchup for his team. There's just one shot after another from the Bruiserweight.
Pete Dunne like a man possessed and bearing the brunt of that rage. Carmelo Hayes back to those small joints.
And Dunne could be looking for that knockout blow on Carmelo Hayes.
Not only that, adding a trash can to the equation spells trouble. Once again, just decimating the hands.
The trash can's destroyed. Dunne's not done.
The arm of Carmelo Hayes might be...
Oh, and that crowbar right to the ribs, right to the kidney. That was a great point, Wade. But now Tony D'Angelo. Right across the face. What the? Oh, come on.
Removing the protective guard.
He's keeping it, too.
A little souvenir for Tony D'Angelo. These two, no love lost.
You could call that a tax.
Is now all the way to the top with crowbar across the face of Pete Dunne. Come on! This is the men's War Games match. This carnage is what we expected. This chaos is what we thought, and we all believed Bron Breakker and Tommaso Ciampa at some point would be slugging it out.
I have serious questions about the future health of the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne after that landing, but right now all concern gets focused back on Tommaso Ciampa, the NXT champion.
Frankensteiner! And Breakker, where is he getting this energy from? Oh! Where the hell Johnny Gargano come from?
Johnny Gargano, great ring awareness, but Bron Breakker had him scouted.
With Ciampa this time, saving things. Oh! Gargano taking out Waller. One final beat. Rose Bell on cue, on demand. What's old school is new again. DIY! Breakker's down. Ciampa, Gargano into the cover, and reigning supreme. Carmelo Hayes.
Brilliance from Carmelo Hayes. What a genius move. This match was over. No way, Bron.
Thumb to the eye. Thumb to the eye from Hayes.
Every dirty trick in the book.
And there's nothing dirtier than a low blow. And it's all legal inside War Games. Wait a minute. Oh, Gargano!
Gargano caught the worst of the
Gargano sacrificing himself. And now, looking for the fairy tale ending! Breakker just planting Ciampa through the table.
Teammates smashing one another, but right now Tommaso Ciampa is in the worst position possible.
And Bron Breakker with the NXT champion high above his head. The power on display as Breakker into the cover. And Bron Breakker has pinned the NXT champion.
Here are your winners, Team 2.0.
But more importantly, the new school has risen
of the old school. Team 2.0 not only survived, but victorious in War Games.
Milk this moment, Team 2.0. Be proud of yourselves. There is a new dawn breaking over NXT as we overlook the chaos, the destruction, but ultimately the victory led by this man, Bron Breakker. For me, the future of NXT is right there.
Look around and you can just see disappointment on some members of the NXT universe. So let's go back to some of the action because we talk about tweets trending, being viral. Grayson Waller went for Beth Phoenix.
The highlight reel was endless throughout this match. One more look. Overhead cam, you can just see the wreckage, the carnage from that table exploding.
You talk about wreckage. How about Tony D'Angelo with crowbar in hand, isolating, wiping out the Cruiserweight Pete Dunne. But DIY would try to turn the clock back in time to have a black and gold moment here inside the Men's War Games cage. And right here, it was some classic DIY, putting Bron Breakker down. We all thought Bron Breakker was out, but at the last moment, Carmelo Hayes able to rip the victory away. And then it was Johnny Gargano here, guys, sacrificed himself to take out Carmelo Hayes, but in doing so, it set Tommaso Ciampa up for what would be a fairy tale ending. Not so much for Team Black and Gold. And then in the end, Bron Breakker, the power on display, able to overcome all the odds, able to overcome the adversity, and Team 2.0 would rise to the occasion. You take a look at the destruction here at War Games. But guys, the newest generation has staked its claim, and there's no doubt a seismic shift